Welcome to South Harmon.
Yo, what's up guys? It's Mike from South Harmon Fantasy Football, and if you've never checked out our official sponsors, Ultimate Autographs, now is the time to do it. You see all this dope stuff that I got behind me? Puka Nakua Lunar Alternate Helmet, Breece Hall Salute to Service, Chad Ochocinco Full Size Authentic, and the creme de la creme of my collection, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, signed by Mr. Iron Mike Tyson himself. Yes, this isn't staged. This is all stuff that I have pulled being off of Ultimate Autographs. You can go check it out with our affiliate link, signed sh.it. Go check that one out today. They are doing so much cool shit over there. Pun intended. There is fantastic prizes that you can enter as a chance to win. You can buy a spot in one of their mystery breaks, one of their mystery box breaks, jerseys, helmets, signed hockey sticks. I'm pretty sure they got everything that any sports enthusiast could want, and I've pulled some dope stuff myself. And that's not all. That is not all. This NFL draft stream, Ultimate Autographs, is proud to present a full-size mystery box helmet that we will be giving away live. We will be giving it away to the people. So if you want a chance to win that, make sure you're checking out our NFL draft stream. We got 3 days of coverage covering the whole thing. But I can tell you what, you want to be there for night one if you want a chance at this helmet. We're going to figure out who won it on night one and then give it away on night two. So I can definitely say that this one is brought to you by our proud sponsors, Ultimate Autographs. So go get you some signed shit today. Again, that is signed sh.it.
Signed shit.
Signed shit, man.
Let's get it, baby.
Let's go, man. Adam, I figured, right before the draft stream, before the extra craziness happens, you gotta start prepping, man. I got this new headband in. You can't tell.
Speaking of new, I got a sticker still on here I gotta get rid of,
That's all right, man. That's how the kids wear them these days, I hear. They put the stickers still on. You're not supposed to bend the bill either, I think.
I already screwed that up, though. Sorry.
Who gives a shit? We're rocking Bro Knicks tonight. That's what we're going to go with. That's what I'm calling this ensemble. It's Bro Knicks.
Bro Knicks, Mike is Bro Knicks. And, listen, Mike was spitting to you guys about Bro Knicks for a minute. So why not at least – it's not Halloween, but he's dressed up as him, Why the fuck not?
Hey, it was this time last year, literally the night before. I didn't like Bo Nix in the first round. I was like, oh, no, some dumbass team's going to do it. And then night one happened. And I said, listen, I'm the quarterback guy. I may not like Bo Nix as a prospect. I may not like the player. But I'm going to have all the Bo Nix there is because first-round quarterbacks matter. So we'll see how many quarterbacks we get tomorrow night. There might be a quarterback or two that people hate. No, people are really shitting on Shedeur Sanders lately. And you're seeing the market move on the betting. Like now it's like over under 21.5.
Feels like Malik syndrome is coming his way, Malik Willis type deal. We got a whole bunch of people in here, by the way. We got Fizz, we got Eric, we got Robo baby. Chris. What's up, man? It's been a while since I've seen you. Not saying you haven't been here, just love the comment. We got Cole World. We got a doctor in the house. This is a house of learned doctors. We have one of us, actually, Dr. B. Harris, official doctor. We've got Jay Jackson telling people how it works. We've got Pello. We've got Trip Crown. We got everybody here, man. And we got, look at this, a super sticker. Not a super chat.
A super sticker.
Thing is, it gives us a description of the sticker, which is one of my favorite things about a super sticker. It doesn't actually show you. It just tells you, this is what it kind of is. This is what the sticker would be described as. I fucking love it so much.
Oh, man. Now I'm hungry. I'm hungry for birthday cake. I don't know why. As long as it's pink.
With purple icing and a candle. That's as good as... Yeah, that's fair. I don't care about the candle. Mike, I'm drinking...
What are you drinking tonight?
Listen, this is conditioning, all right? Sazerac Rye is... I'm going to tell you, this is... You got to get the handle, too, when you're ready for a full draft stream, right?
That's old school, man. That used to be your go-to, your mainstay back when we first started this.
Sometimes you got to go back to your roots, man. Sazerac Rye was just it's a daily occurrence over here. I'm not going to get back to a daily occurrence because I'm not ready for that with 2 kids running around. But I'll tell you, Mike, 20-some hours on the draft stream, I'm ready to get back to the Sazerac Rye days. What do you got? See, DB knows, a classic.
Water. and an adult candy inside of me already doing its work.
I love what I just heard because I know what that means. For those of you that don't know, I do know. Hold on. Hold the phones.
What
we got? This is like, Mike, is this what they call, there's collaboration and there's also like
money laundering?
There you go. Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but, you know. Eric, just dropping the hammer. Showing the eggplant early and often. Get your lotion ready, boys. Draft stream tomorrow, 7:30. Make sure you're there. 7:30. We're going to have myself. We're going to have E, as he's letting you know here. We're going to have Mike. Bro Nix, if those of you that don't know. We're going to have Fizz. We're going to have T-Rock's actually out of the country. Speaking of money laundering, he's doing whatever you have to do out of the country first. And others of us. We got Bindles. Shout out Bindles. He's asked me to come on. I'm going to do a stream over with him after the draft, sometime on the 5th or 6th. So go check out his channel. Go give him check out some of his work and give him a follow if you're looking for some other things. He went to Sam's Club today. So I think he's saying because he saved so much money on these industrial sized things, he had the extra 10 lying around to throw into the super chat. I love this.
Let's go, man. Shout out Sam's Club. We'll take any sponsor, man. I buy a lot of shit from Sam's.
Shout out Walmart. Shout out Sam's Club. One of the same, you know. I fucking absolutely love this.
Adam, what I wanted to do definitely to start the show, right? Because we didn't get to have our time-honored tradition. Maddie and I did 4D chess and, gave her bold predictions. But
yeah,
I think for you and I, right before the NFL draft, I think this is a perfect time for you and I to talk about guys that we're higher on than consensus is right now.
Okay.
And the easiest way to do consensus, another shout-out to a great website made by Adeko, Dynasty Data Lab.
You had me nervous.
I got the real draft rookie ADP.
Okay.
The draft eve, you want to call it.
I thought for sure you were going down that keep trade cut narrative thing where we play it up and okay.
I want real
We're talking to Deco here. So for those that don't know, Dynasty Data Lab, right?
Good one. Yeah. It's a fantastic tool that he's got.
So Mike, I'll look it up with you here.
To the guys who made the ADP, but me and Adeko just dunked all over us. Just like what Redwood said I'm gonna do to kids after I get off the stream when I go down to the local Y.
Oh, I was worried. I thought you were talking, in like the gamers PS5 online, just talking shit to some little kids, No.
So you got Genty, and these are super flex, mostly tight end premium drafts. But you got Genty 101, Maureen Hampton 102.
I got it up here with you. Let's take a peek.
The first one I'm gonna throw out, obviously, for me, my guy, Cam Ward. 103. So obviously I'm higher on consensus than the rest of the community, right? Because I'm willing to take him at 101 everywhere. And it sure feels like the NFL is going to take him at 101 too. Tomorrow night, it'll be official.
Well, that's happening. For those that don't know, now you should know. If you don't know, it's... Mike, if it's not... I'll tell you this. If Cam Ward is not the 101, I'll be truly shocked, and I'll tell you, we're in for a fucking crazy day. We're in for a absolutely crazy, wild day. Because the Browns all of a sudden would have a decision that they feel like is made on their hands. They wouldn't know whether to trade it, take it, what the fuck to do. It's not going to happen. So Cam Ward is pretty locked in. Tennessee's pick 101.
Yeah. Anybody else stand out to you here? You got anybody? Ted at 4, TreVeyon at...
Travis Hunter is where... I'll say TreVeyon to me is not. I don't have him. I'm not higher than 5. That's about where I would be. So
okay.
I feel like I'm higher on him than consensus, but consensus is showing me that's not true. I'm right on par.
Tyler Warren at 6.
That would be more the inverse for me. Although I will admit, listen, I did have a Tyler Warren share at 6, Mike, auto draft that absolutely killed my soul. I mean, because exactly what happened here, Mike. The person after him, Travis Hunter, is who I'm higher on than consensus. Oh, like getting one Tyler Warren share, Mike. Honestly, just for the having the other side of things. If I'm completely dead wrong, like I'm kind of like, you know what, that wouldn't be the worst thing. But when it was for Travis Hunter, I'm like, no, God, please, fuck no. Travis Hunter to me is I'm way over 107 for him. I've taken him anywhere from I did get him at 108, but I've taken him 104 a couple times. So. I'm higher on Travis Hunter than.
In certain circumstances, I'm willing to take him 102 as well. right? Over Genty. So definitely another guy. I think we're both on this way higher than consensus at 107 right now in ADP. What about Quinshawn? No, feels about right.
You stop lying, okay? I did get Dylan Sampson in every single one of my drafts in round 2, though. So I'm shooting for the moon with him.
Definitely not somebody I will be higher on than you, my friend.
Fair. Well,
I'll let you have yours. You can have all the Dylan Sampson you would like.
Fair enough. Sounds like you're not in, which is I'd love to hear this.
No.
Oh wow.
No, we got to do that. I mean, I'm wearing orange. We want to talk about Tennessee's Dylan Sampson a little bit.
We'll get to it in time.
Okay,
we'll get to it in time. Let's not let Redwoods derail the entire combo in order. Okay.
Redwoods. What about Shedeur at 9? I would say I'm higher than consensus, right? I'm more willing to take him in the 5, 6, 7 range.
This is a good conversation now because, Mike, the reason I was hesitant on any quarterback other than Cam Ward, which I honestly didn't even get Cam Ward, our community drafted more often than not at 102, honestly. I saw. I wasn't going to take him at 101. I was definitely 102. That's going to be my guy. I didn't even get a chance really to do that for the record. But Shedeur, I will say this. I felt, even though more recently we're getting to the point where he's potentially going to miss the first round, I wasn't really worried about that. But I wasn't sure that he was going to get, let's call it, top 10 draft capital. So this more recent fall, I feel like, is a little bit I'd be curious to see if we sorted this ADP, like if he's starting to fall. Because in our drafts, he's going at 104 sometimes, 105, 106, 107, kind of at the latest. The reason I basically didn't draft Shedeur, though, I don't think I left with a single time, is because I just wasn't sure that he was going to get the crazy draft capital. Now, with what I know today, the reason I wouldn't take him at 105 or 106 is because I've been on this. We did this in 2022, our first year doing a bunch of content and drafts. So sure these guys are going to get first-round draft capital, and all of them didn't, outside of Kenny Pickett. And if that happens, 109 is not going to be a problem anymore. It's going to be the second round, right? Because especially for his style of play, he doesn't run the football. So that's why for me right now, with what I know today, I want to see him get first-round draft capital. Once he does that, I'm with you. 109, I would take him there for sure, and I'd probably take him ahead of 108, 107 even, right? But my fear at the moment is if he falls out of the first round, I don't think he will, but if he does, I don't want to get stuck with that bag. That's the reason why this is kind of a new thing that has taken place for me the last, I'd say, 2-3 days.
I get you. I get where you're coming from too, and there's a lot of smoke coming out. I just don't believe there's actually fire, right?
I'm with you.
I'm fully ready for on tomorrow night stream. We're sitting there, and you get I'm not going to say it's going to be a top 5 selection, right? But let's say a top 10.
Top 10, 12, sure.
Commissioner comes up to the podium and announces Shedeur Sanders, and the rest of us who have been like looking at this over the last couple days and talking about could he fall out of the first round and like reading this shit. You guys will have this shocked look on your face, and I'll have this like, hey, yeah, look, he's decent. The NFL does like him, and this was all bullshit. Right, so this whole time is just like smoke and mirrors, dog shit. Right, you do try to follow betting lines, right? But
yeah,
I mean, where are they getting the information from? Right, we've had teams leak massive amounts of dog shit just constantly because what they're trying to do is trying to get somebody in a front office somewhere else to panic and like do like what's wrong with Bo Callahan? Nobody went to his birthday party.
Yeah, for those that don't know, listen, tradition. At South Harmon, Mike and I, since starting this, right? Listen, draft day, do yourself a favor if you've never seen it, okay? Watch it on draft day. It's corny. Know ahead of time there's some things like that which might
Oscar worthy. That's how good it is.
But Mike, it's a Stapleton. I just do it every single year. Now, whether you like it or not, I'm into it. But that's where Bo Callahan comes from for those that don't know. And to that point, I'm expecting him still to go, but there's enough smoke to the point in smoke and mirrors where you're saying.
Making you a little nervous.
I'm just telling you, I know I don't have the answers. And I've been on both sides of this where
we have
109, right? To the point where he's at. If he gets first round draft capital, and let's call it top 20, just for the sake of argument. Top 20 draft capital for Shedeur at 109. Like, I don't actually know that there's a lot of needle to move up. There is some. He will go higher than 109 post draft, right? At that point. But if he misses if he misses round 1, he goes even in round 2. Like, I'm pretty confident he will fall probably out of round 1 in drafts if he doesn't get first round draft capital. So that's the reason I feel like there's more to lose than to gain at the moment if he misses. And that's why, for me, not actually knowing what to believe, having just my feeling. But like, a lot of times what I found out is my feeling is wrong, and it's probably just gas. I got a fucking fart, and it's something else. It's not a real feeling,
Just got an upset tummy, buddy. That's it.
Hold on, we got a just signed up for Savage, and I don't know why, but I needed to. And yes, you do know why.
It's
South Harmon. You deserve everything that comes with that Savage tier, man. Good for you.
Emeka Egbuka 110. Doesn't jump out to me. Like, actually feels a little early-ish, but
yeah, 111, 110, Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, about right.
I will say I'll throw Luther Burden on this, that I'm higher than consensus, because he's going as wide receiver 4 here, and that's not where I have.
Where do you have him? Put that out there for the 3. Okay, and you have him ahead of Egbuka or McMillan?
I have him ahead of Egbuka. Ahead of Egbuka, ahead of Golden.
Okay, he is ahead of Golden on this, and so he's wide receiver 4 versus wide receiver 3 in his ones pick. I'd be curious actually how close this ADP data is. Like, one of the things you can't necessarily tell is, like, are we talking 10.4 and 10.6? I don't know if you can see that or not, like how close it is. But
now you got me questioning where the fuck I actually ranked it.
Go pull it up. Let's do it. I think they're pretty interchangeable in a lot of the drafts I've seen.
Okay, never mind.
Do you have them? You have them at 4? 2. You have them ahead of McMillan, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I wasn't gonna tell you how you. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Hey, adult candies.
Happens.
We're gonna use that adult candies.
So you're definitely higher on Burden then. With you having him at wide receiver 2. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
I can see it. I'll just say this. I think it's worth the home run swing, because I think Burden, if he was coming out last year, there's a totally different sense of the player than there is at the moment, frankly. And last year he didn't like kind of take that step forward we would have liked to see from his year prior. And the reality is that Missouri was just a dumpster fire of shit and some of that's not his fault. So,
Brady Cook was hurt in and out, didn't play his best. So, I mean, shit like that happens. It's the SEC. It's a tough fucking conference. But you're also talking about a guy as a sophomore in the SEC, true sophomore, lit it up and went ballistic. So, I don't know. We got a few of those guys in this class, don't we? Like, if we're talking 2 years ago, like first-round rookie locks, no one's even questioning it. And now we're like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's definitely some mixed feelings, I can tell you, in the chat. I'm a little more bullish. I'm not quite as bullish as you are, but I'm a little more bullish than I am shying away from Luther Burden. I didn't get a lot of him, though, because I felt like in our drafts, at least the ones I had picks in those ranges, like there was a ton of drafts where I saw Luther Burden go 107, higher than we're looking at here. So
amongst the South Harmon community who participated in film session nights, multiple, and didn't, disappear, never show up, like Pello, who actually put the film on and did the work, put in the leg work, the elbow grease. Luther Burden was pretty popular.
Liquid glue on a bee,
Luther Burden was pretty popular.
Yeah, I like what I see of his tape. Fizz was asking Trey Harrison, trust me, Fizz, we'll get to him.
We're getting there.
We'll get there,
Fucking impatient.
Mike, speaking of impatient, tell me that anyone here would not beg and do unspeakable things to press draft right now.
Yeah,
we all would. We're all impatient as fucking could possibly be.
Colson Loveland at the 112. The only thing I'll say that I'm higher than consensus on is not the draft slot, because you and I are fully.
You got him over. You got him over Tyler Warren, right?
He's tight end 1.
Yeah,
tight end 1. That's it. But even if he is my tight end 1, 112 still, like, I don't think I'm ever taking a tight end in my rookie drafts at the 112.
Yeah,
unless you're God or Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I would have taken Mike. I would have taken Brock Bowers last year at the 112.
Yes, definitely would have.
I can tell you confidently there was no draft where that would have taken place either. So
yeah, Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson is Caleb Johnson, Travis Hunter, TreVeyon Henderson would be my first guys that I wanted to talk about. But TreVeyon Henderson is right where I'd have him, 105, and then
Caleb Johnson at the 201 RB5.
Put him. I'm higher than that. I basically took him in the first round every single time in these pre-NFL drafts.
Yep.
I'm taking him ahead of. Here's my thing. At the moment, with what I know still, even though his 40 wasn't the greatest, I feel as though teams are not going to discount him as much as the fantasy community seemingly has at the moment in the draft. Again, it's not really any different than the principle I just talked about with the quarterbacks. I'm just more bullish on Caleb Johnson actually getting early day 2 draft capital or, top 50, 60 range, to where that to me puts him ahead of Igbuka, puts him ahead of Burden, really regardless of what they do. It's not anything against those guys. It's just I think they're pretty solidified in the range that they're at. I think Caleb Johnson with the right draft capital is going to shoot up boards, and I think people are a little bit, speaking of impatient, like they wanted him to crush the combine. I feel like he did just fine. It's just relative to the people around him, it wasn't, a complete smash, especially the 40-yard dash. So Caleb Johnson to me, I'm taking at anywhere from 108, 109 range, and definitely later.
Jackson Dart for me, another one higher than consensus. He's going at the 202. It's a guy that feels pretty secure on going in the first round. Now we could see some wild shit where he's QB2 off the board. That's kind of the big thing out there, that a lot of teams have him as QB2. I don't know if it's necessarily true or not, but you're looking at a guy who really kind of feels like at this point it's going in the first round. Like it's pretty solidified. So if you're getting a first round quarterback in the second round, Michael Penix, Bo Nix last year, anyone? It's always a dub. It's always a dub. It's a big win. So yeah, he should be going higher, in my opinion. Higher on him.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I will be echoing that statement with you again once the NFL draft concludes. This year to me has a lot of the vibes, let me put it out there, of 22 where I've seen enough mocks to feel confident, and I feel like there's enough teams that need quarterback to where Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward are all going to go first round. Jackson Dart to me is the one that if he's first round, he's got to go higher than 202. But if he misses the first round, I don't think the community gives a fuck about Jackson Dart, frankly. And that's where I don't think there's as much, again, there's some to go up, but I feel like he'd be going after Jalen Milroe. Let's say they both were day 2 picks. I think Jalen Milroe definitely goes ahead of Jackson Dart, right? Just because of the traits. So that's where my hesitancy comes in now when we were doing the pre-draft with Jackson Dart. Like, if you tell me he's locked in first-round quarterback, my post-NFL drafts, I'm going to have a shit ton of Jackson Dart because anything in the first round, like after 107, 108, I'm taking probably Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders regardless of what you think of the traits. They're first-round draft capital quarterbacks.
Yep. No on Golden for me.
I don't think I got a single share so far.
I don't think it's, I'm not higher on consensus than him. He's wide receiver, 5? Yeah, wide receiver 5, 203. Ooh, Cameron Myers. Let's go.
Can't wait to ask real questions after this weekend. Cheers. Looking forward to the show tomorrow. Listen, we're looking forward to having you, hosting you. And trust me when I tell you I can't wait for it as much as you can't. Mike, with Golden, I feel like what I'm seeing here at least, I'm still not as bullish as this at pick 15. This, at least to me, feels more like he should be more clearly defined, in my opinion, as the next tier of guys, not with Igbuka, not with Burden. And I feel like in the drafts I was in, he was closer to Burden and Igbuka, and I'm not pressing that button on Golden in that range personally.
I think some of that is, there's talks of him being the first wide receiver not named Travis Hunter off the board. I always got to caveat that because people just automatically assume he's a corner still, and I have no idea why.
You know where?
The first wide receiver not named.
Cleveland. Let's go.
Cleveland off the board. And if that's the case, Adam, getting the first wide receiver off the board at 203 would be a little bit of a steal. Sure. And I think he deserves to be in the tier with Igbuka and Burden and, Tet, but I don't know. I think the range where he's going, you and I talked about it a little bit, how we saw him sometimes in the first round of our rookie drafts, these pre-ones, to the very early part of the second round. I think that's the right range. So I can't say I'm higher on consensus, and I'm not necessarily going to say I'm lower than where he's going. I think it's about right. Cam Scatterbo, too high for me personally, so definitely not a higher than consensus guy for me. Trey Harris is the one that I would say next to Fizzle's point. 205, Adam. 205, he belongs in that tier with the other guys because I think at worst, I don't think he gets first round draft capital, but I think at worst he's an early day 2 pick.
I agree. And well, that's where I think, to me, Mike, I actually have Trey Harris ahead of Matthew Golden, and I think the tier should be those two guys in a tier. I would prefer Trey Harris and those guys. And I think
what would you do post draft? Let's just hypothetically say it's Matthew Golden to the Cowboys. I've seen that a lot at 12, right? Like you've seen that come up, and it's Trey Harris to I don't know Carolina, early day 2. How would you rank them then?
I think they'd definitely be in the same tier. I might put Matthew Golden ahead just because the landing spot and the draft capital do speak pretty highly, right? Yeah. But it'd be close for me. I think Trey Harris could end up running away with the wide receiver 1 spot in Carolina, though, too. So
definitely could.
To me, Trey Harris is a guy that I'll tell you this. When I draft Trey Harris in my drafts, Mike, it depended on what spot he was at and what Warp said. So if the wide receiver line in Warp was pretty replaceable from wide receiver 2 and beyond,
which it gets like that in a lot of leagues. It does.
100%. And that's where I'm just I was passing. It had nothing to do with Trey Harris. Nothing to do with Trey Harris. It had everything to do with the league I'm in. But when I did take him, it's like, all right, this dude I think could be a top 20, 24 wide receiver if things break right at some point in Dynasty. And I'm drafting him at the 209. And I'm like, this is fucking absolutely insane, So.
Yeah. Jalen Milroe, 206. Definitely going to fall in the category of my guys. I'm buying the rumors of possibly in the first round. I'm reading the tea leaves, all right? But even if it's not, I don't think the NFL's, inviting a round 3 quarterback to night 1 of the draft, right, to sit in the green room. I know we love drama and we love to watch guys follow in the Aaron Rodgers moments and the Geno Smith and the Will Levis. At worst, though, I think he's an early second-round pick. Like, somebody's going to take him in the early second round, and if that's the case, getting that kind of quarterback who's going to get an opportunity at some point to play, much different than if he's a third-round guy like we've seen the Kellen Monds of the world never get a fucking opportunity and get shit on by their head coach, right? The early day 2 guys are the ones who, at some point, he's going to get an opportunity to either succeed or fail. Either way, we'll find out, and that running ability of his for fantasy football purposes, I'm more than willing, early second round, late first, to take that shot right now. And Adam, I swear to you, I said it to Maddie, and I'm fully convicted on this. Tomorrow night, probably won't be at this time. It'll be in about an hour when we get to the back half of the first round. We start talking that. If Jalen Milroe goes in the first round, the Steelers, whatever, goes in the first round to somebody.
It doesn't matter to who, yeah.
I don't give a shit to who. If he goes in the first round, Jalen Milroe is automatically, for me, leveled up. Welcome to tier 1 of my rookie drafts.
Interesting.
Like in the first 4 picks, I will be considering taking Jalen Milroe because that rushing upside, it's the same thing that I say about A. Rich, and it's the same thing I said about Justin Fields. It's the same thing I say about those guys. Like, yes, you're going to have guys like that who eventually bust or miss, and everybody points to them and go, yeah, see, they had the accuracy problems or whatever the fuck it was. But if they put it together and they start for multiple years, Justin Fields has been in and out of your fantasy lineups, but when he has actually started games, like last year for Pittsburgh, top 6, like weekly kind of guy. And just because he can run the football. Like, it is a fucking cheat code for fantasy, and I'm more than willing to take the shot on it because if he does put it all together and becomes a long-term starter, you're looking at Lamar Jackson upside, you're looking at Jalen Hurts upside, you're looking at Josh Allen upside, you're looking at Jaden Daniels upside. That is the biggest lottery ticket in this whole fucking draft.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll say this to the point you're making. I think there's no reason to doubt, or if you don't understand why he's going in the second round, as far like Mike already hit all the reasons of upside. Jalen Milroe could be terrible as an actual quarterback. What teams think of him, what most GMs think, what we as a community think of him as a football player. Those are separate things from a guy that has first round draft capital. That's a guy that has as much rushing upside as he does. Mike, it's actually kind of interesting because as soon as the Jalen Milroe invited to the green room, like in our Discord, I know we were just like, what the fuck is going on here?
What is happening?
Wait, are we serious? And Mike, to me, it's the exact same thing though as Malik Willis. And from the standpoint of this, he's gotten enough teams that said they're considering drafting him in the first round with their, scheduled visits, whatever they call them. Malik was also invited to the green room in 2022. I think it's just a matter of there's teams that have put that into the ether. I'm not saying that he won't go, but I'm just saying I do still think that Jalen Milroe absolutely has the ability to fall into the third round. So that's where, for me, Jalen Milroe is a lottery ticket pick in pre-NFL drafts, meaning if you draft him at 206, Mike, and let's say he's a top 50 pick. I don't even care if it's first round. Top 50, you have won tremendously. Like, I'd make the case that if he's a third-round pick because of his upside in rushing, you still probably draft him where he's going to go in late, mid-second round. Like,
yeah.
I don't have a problem with Jalen Milroe where he's going as much as, a Jackson Dart or Shadur, because I think as long as he doesn't, like, free fall, he should be considered in a class that's weak like this, realistically, as a top 18 to 24 pick just because of the rushing, and if he does get the chance to start, even if he's not a day one guy. So, to your point, if he was a day one pick, whew, buddy, definitely 106 consideration. That would be such a great. I kind of want to see it happen, just because I think people are going to be so the polarizing effect. Like, people will be so widespread on it. Think of A. Rich. He's not going to get that draft capital. We don't expect. But,
no.
Like, right now, all the people that hated A. Rich are coming around telling you how I told you so, right? The Fields people, like, you get it. But, man, even if it's for a year or two, like, Jalen Milroe, that's the thing about it. If he busts, like, I'm kind of expecting him to bust, but I also know the upside he might carry for 2 or 3 seasons is worth the bust factor at
Tremendous.
106, frankly. So, I just don't know. Obviously, I have no idea where he's going to go. But if he goes first round, great. I'm still a little bit leery that while he was invited to the green room and he'll be there, he might be missing round 1 and missing round 2, and then it's like, again, second round. I still don't have a problem. I just haven't reached on it yet. I haven't reached around.
You're a lover scorned. Past girlfriend broke your heart, and you're very apprehensive about, diving back into the pool again. And I'm the big dumb idiot who goes, I know she treated me like shit the last time, but
listen,
this time's going to be
I almost drowned, but I'm still here, damn it. I'm going back into the deep end. I don't care if there's a lifeguard. We're swimming this time,
Dylan Sampson, 207. That's your boy. Higher than consensus at 207?
I've drafted him as early as 204. Here's the thing for me. He's in a tier. Let me just say where I'm really at with Dylan Sampson, why I continue to get him. He's in a tier for me with Cam Scatterbo, Devin Neal, other guys as well in this draft, where Damian Martinez I actually have pretty high in that same tier. Where I ended up with him is like, all right, sometimes it might feel early even for me of taking him at 204 or 206. The reality is, though, if Dylan Sampson ends up with the draft capital, I think he has the home run upside that I'm looking for in best ball leagues, which is with all the drafts that I've done, right? It's kind of an admitted home run swing in the second round at this point, where I think if things break right, he has the contact balance. I like a lot of his game. It's not I don't want to be dismissive of Dylan Sampson, but it's more so that I think all the traits he has, if he gets the draft capital, he could be worth a lot more to the teams the way I'm building. I don't like he is my guy because I left with him in every draft. So basically, if I'm going to draft Dylan Sampson or Cam Scatterbo or Devin Neal, I think all these guys have a wide range of outcomes, Mike, when it comes to what their draft capital is going to be. But if you told me these guys all got, let's call it round 2 draft capital, I think Dylan Sampson has the most upside because of the way in which he's got that elite home run speed. So that's at least at the process right now why I'm drafting him as my running back 6.
I get you.
After the draft, I think I'll have a lot more clarity. He may be my running back 8. He may be my running back 5, Mike, for all I know. I don't at the point I'm kind of shooting a shot of, let's see if Sampson can actually land in a spot where he can fucking use that home run speed.
I wanted to be in on Dylan Sampson. A couple of things have just put me out, and you're going to end up with all of them, and I'm not going to get them. Talk about lover scorned. I became very in on Jalen Wright last year out of Tennessee.
Sure.
Same offense. Now, the one thing I can say, the difference between Sampson and Wright is you talked about some things. I think definitely Sampson's got a little bit better build to him. He's got a little better contact balance. And you saw a little bit out of him, but I can definitely tell you, Jalen Wright was the home run fucking hitter, right? Mm-hmm. Jalen Wright put the shit on wax when he ran his 40. It was
super
nuts.
Fast. Yeah,
super fast. Dylan Sampson, then that was the other thing that got me, is didn't test at the combine, ran his pro day, and he's a 4.5 guy, right? Like, it's not what it was made out to be, especially for a smaller back. Now we've seen like 4.5, 5'8", 200-pound running backs like Dylan Sampson do stuff, right? Aaron Jones comes to mind. It's just hard for me to see Aaron Jones in his game. And then that Tennessee offense is just so fucking abnormal because of the splits and putting the wide receivers literally on the fucking sidelines, lining guys up on the outside and wide running lanes. And I'm like,
yeah,
man, I feel like I was sold this bill of goods last year and Jalen Wright wasn't ever shit, right? Like he was supposed to be. And I'll let everybody else take Dylan Sampson. And if I'm wrong, fuck me. Okay.
Yeah.
But if I'm right, it's like, okay, you did get me.
There's certainly, the scheme was the same. So a lot of the same concerns, I think, watching the film could definitely be, reasonable. I also try to make sure, and I'm not at all above this, Mike. I tried my hardest to not like helmet scout, and I think there's a lot of things that when I look at both of them, naturally it's easy to helmet scout because you're looking at the same fucking type of running scheme, right? Like
we always knock helmet scouting. We do.
For sure.
We knock it so much.
And I'm trying to say I'm not guilty of. I do it at points for sure.
Let's play devil's advocate though on the other side. Why sometimes maybe helmet scouting comes in handy. Let's look at Baylor wide receivers, Adam. All been shit.
Sure.
All of them.
Sure.
TCU wide receivers. Josh Dotson, you remember him back in the day? Dog shit.
Sure do.
Jalen Reagor, dog shit. Quentin Johnston, dog shit.
Sure.
Right? Like it's a thing. It's really a thing. I mean, as much as I will sit here and defend Ohio State quarterbacks and we're like, Justin Fields is going to be different. So far, his career has not been all that different from the rest of the Ohio State quarterbacks that have come out. Like, it's like...
There's definitely a point to that. I think, to your point, like the Big 12 of old, right, receivers, the coverage and the way those offenses just fucking churn out yards, it's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I will say, we don't have to go back too long, although it feels like forever ago. Different system and everything, but Alvin Kamara exists, and I'm willing to go out on a limb. I'm willing to say that Tennessee running backs ain't dead. I will say that Jalen Wright's dead, so if you still have him, you should trade him away now if you can. But Dylan Sampson ain't dead yet. We'll find out.
Yet.
It's okay.
Yet.
Holy Santa Claus. Shit! But here's what I love. Mike, can I tell you this? I'm loving what this is, everything about this, right? 10-team, one quarterback is Mike's favorite type of super chat, but he knows that, listen, if I have to make Mike go down the 10-team, one quarterback lane, I got to come correct. Give the big red his fucking props, man. Give him his craps, as you know I like to say. $20, I'll answer it. Mike may hate it. Guys, what do I do in a 10-team, one quarterback league? I know. I mean, he knows. Give him his... It was the first dynasty league I joined. Take it easy. I don't know that we can, but we'll try. I have 104, 107, 108, 110, 202, 204, 206. I've got Hertz, JSN, BTJ, and that's pretty much it. Okay, I mean, obviously you have your work cut out for you. Micah, here's what I'll say about a one quarterback league in this draft. Right now, for what we know with the quarterbacks, like, just take Cam Ward out of the mix early, and that's where these picks still are going at the moment in the early side, right? So it's not I don't think these picks are bad. I think there's plenty of chances to take some good shots on some nice running backs. What are you doing here, I guess? He actually didn't give us a question. So I
he started it off with the question, Adam. Guys, what do I do?
Yeah. I just feel like it's super wide open. So $20 is kind of worth it if we're going to answer all of them.
There you go.
What do you do? 104, 107, 108. Let's start there. What are we doing?
So take Cam Ward out of the equation.
Yep.
I'm taking Travis Hunter at 104 if this ADP holds.
Yeah, if he's at 104, I was just going to say I'm with you lockstep for sure.
Smashing it. Done. 107, taking, a Judkins, Caleb Johnson at the 107.
Yeah.
One of the other ones. Take fucking both of them.
Yeah, Trev probably doesn't, in this format, make it to 107. Nope. So I'll take Judkins, I'll take Caleb. Right. Okay.
110.
Granted, we'll know after the draft capital.
I don't know. You're in like that Ibuka, Luther Burden, Matthew Golden range.
Yep. 110. What are you thinking here? I think I would be, if all things are equal, if I can get Luther Burden at that spot, that would be my preferred shot, because I think it's here's the thing in 10 team. I want the elite players. It's all about the elite players. Like, I think if all things were to break right for Luther Burden, I think he is probably the highest upside by a slight margin. That's the reason I say that. But I don't think you go wrong with any one of those three, frankly, at that point, based on what's left.
And then with the rest of those, like 202, 204, 206, I'm just taking probably running backs in that range, to be completely honest. Just shooting my shot on all the running backs. With one of those picks, though, and it'd probably be the 206.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like in the Superflex. I might take fucking Jalen Milroe, man.
Here's
one QB. It's 10 team, one quarterback. Like, he's already got Jalen Hurts on the roster, but I want to shoot another shot at one of those super ridiculous upside, actual difference makers at the quarterback position in that league.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have Hurts, I would 100% take. I would 1,000% take Jalen Milroe. I'm kind of like of the mindset that I don't want to carry a second, just because I don't think you can trade him in this league. That's the primary fucking problem. Like,
and you could probably just find a dude off waivers.
You can find a way to replace. It won't be Jalen Milroe, Mike, but I could probably find a way to just get a top 15 quarterback and just patch my way through if I had an injury to Hurts.
That's fair.
So
fuck it, take another running back then.
I'm taking my upside swings. I think, to me, Dylan Sampson would be one. I know, Mike, you may not agree, but him, Tootin maybe even, Damian Martinez.
Damian Martinez, definitely.
Yeah, those would be the guys I'm targeting in this range, personally. Yep. So I think that's the way I'd play it. I would say this, though. In the second round, in the 110, if you do have a chance to trade back, net anything, and stay within these top 206, 208, 209, I think I would do it, because I do want to consolidate in 10 team, but I just don't think there's a ton of difference in this draft from really like 111 to 206. I'll take another shot and give me a plus, because you do still have a ton of depth to figure out between only having JSA, BTJ, and Hurts. Like, I'm okay doing that as well. So
yeah,
that's all I got, though. And listen, I know we took it easy on you. We gave you your answer. Appreciate the super chat, man. Seriously, $20 super chat is first time catching it live instead of listening at work. A little late, but much love, y'all. Appreciate it, Joe.
If that wasn't a $20 super chat, I'd tell you to drop the league. Should have saved the $20.
Listen, Geist is on it. He knows what we're thinking. 10 team and 1 QB.
Sheesh. Devin Neal at the 208. Fine. I'm not gonna say I'm higher than consensus on him. Jaden Higgins 209. Adam, I think it's about right. I can't say anything there. A.O. Manor 210. No.
Nah. I will say, yeah, RB9. I like Ollie. I didn't. Mike, here's my thing. I don't feel like he went this where he did not go to second round really in almost any of our drafts. So it's kind of crazy to see the community difference between like a shit league and a lot of these. Here's what I'll say.
I think it's pointed out here. I think it's pointed out. Ollie Gordon, and like I like Ollie Gordon, you like Ollie Gordon, and I'm on an island here saying that I like Isaiah Bond quite a bit. Okay. But I don't fucking like Isaiah Bond at the 212, right? Like, you'll never see me take Isaiah Bond at the 212 ever.
No.
So, like, there's a little bit of community disconnect here where it's like, we do like the guys, but we never saw them, as like solid second round picks, Adam. Like, they were like third round. I like Ollie Gordon at the 305. Fuck yeah. Give me all the Ollie Gordon. I feel like the community's higher on those guys than we are.
You know what, D-Walk? Sometimes, just sometimes, I think you make some fucking sense. I'm praying, Mike. I'll tell you this: day 2, I'm gonna be as locked in as a human could be on waiting for that Dylan Sampson, just fucking begging. Because
I'll see you on day 3.
Yeah, and trust me, when it's round 5 and Dylan Sampson still hasn't been taken, I'm gonna be sad, a sad fucking person. But Mike, here's what I was gonna say though: in this range, right? I think. And I'm still happy to go through this in round 3 and round 4 as guys I'm higher on and lower on. One of the things just straight up, honestly, if I'm just being completely honest about the situation, in every single one of my leagues, I can give you where I'm at on the player. The truth of the matter is, at this point especially, I am drafting so different based on warp. Warp.life, warp is life. To me, there is a league where I will take Trey Harris maybe at 202 in the right situation if the warp makes sense for what I think that projects to be. And if it's not good warp for wide receivers, like I might let Trey Harris fall into the third round before I start to take a player like that. Where, so I guess what I'm saying is not that I don't have my preferences, but a lot of it comes down to what the league straight up tells me, right? And what warp tells me about the league more so. So, like, I got Damian Martinez at the 303, and like I wasn't really looking to take a running back, but at that point, like, you're forcing my hand, guys. Fuck you. Okay, I'm taking Damian Martinez. The free fall stops here. It stops right now. But that's I guess one of the things I wanted to say is that in the mid to late part of the second round and the third round, a lot of my picks kind of are dictated by what warp tells me.
Bayshall Tootin, 301, I would say definitely became a South Harmon guy. I think he's a second round pick. Not in the NFL draft. Maybe he's in the NFL draft.
This is another awesome. 20 for the record.
God 20. Damn, Shane.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Bayshall Tootin, though, I think he's a second round rookie pick. So I'm higher on consensus than third round.
I am too. It's hard to say because this seems crazy, I bet, if you haven't been into this whole Tootin rise, but he's getting closer to where I have him. But I'm pushing for a Tootin.
I think he's everything that, for me anyways, that you want Dylan Sampson to be for you.
Well, Mike, here's the thing. I don't need to take – I basically felt like I didn't need to take Dylan Sampson was the guy I felt like I might not get, let's say, if I had a 209. But I did leave with Dylan Sampson and with, let's say, Tootin in the same draft. I could be wrong, but I don't actually remember. Maybe, you know what, we could do this at some point later or now. Is there a draft where Tootin's gone ahead of Dylan Sampson? Because that would be interesting. If there is, that would be where I fucked up.
Yeah, there's definitely a few with Dynasty Berry in it. I can guarantee you that Tootin went way early.
Well, I'm going. I want to go through them and see because just for the exercise, I might have to try. But
Elijah Arroyo at 302, no. RJ Harvey at 303, no, not really mine.
No, which running backs? Let me ask you this question. Let's ask it this way: which running backs would you have over Harvey, aside from Damian Martinez, that are going after him here?
DJ Giddens and Rocket Sanders.
Yeah, and Mike, I tell you, late the third and fourth round, Mike got himself Rocket Sanders is fucking. He's got every bit of that rocket.
That is probably the biggest my guy right now. They got him at the 411 in ADP. So there was a couple of drafts I got him in the fifth round, for fuck's sake. So I'm way over my skis on Rocket Sanders. If you can see the pre-draft ownership shares of Rocket Sanders, I think we're damn near pushing 100% at him. We are damn near 100%. So
I got some Rocket Sanders, but I think it was one or two. Mike absolutely dominated the Rocket Sanders shareholders.
Cleaning up.
Yep.
Those are the running backs, though. DJ Giddens. Big shout out to Xbox for that one. He doesn't watch content, even though he says he's going to see us on fucking Thursday. He's full of shit. He's full of shit. He won't make an appearance. I know it. Yeah.
Wish you weren't a liar.
I missed that film session, but I had to catch up, and DJ Giddens is good. But I'll put DJ Giddens and Rocket Sanders over RJ Harvey and Dylan Sampson and Devin Neal and Ollie Gordon. I got them ranked really, really high.
Damn, you are definitely way further in on Giddens than I am. I like Giddens, but some of the names you're putting there. Let's go. Hot fire, Mike.
You want to take a guess? What tier and how high I have Rocket Sanders actually ranked?
Did you say you had Rocket ahead of all those guys you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Or was that Giddens? Oh, that's Rocket? Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would put him in tier 3, right?
Tier 3, right? Yeah. He's in the same tier as TreVeyon Henderson for me.
Oh, my gosh. That's I'm okay with the Rocket in tier 3. Why is Trev in tier 3? Let's hear this.
Because he's not as good as Genty and Hampton, right? So I'll give you the pre-draft rankings. Genty and Hampton, tier 1 running backs, no question, tier of their own. Tier 2, Caleb Johnson and Quinshawn, tier of their own.
Damn, I guess okay. I have Trev absolutely in those guys, in the same tier.
We sat down. We did the Ohio State film session and watched Quinshawn and watched Trev. Trev's got the speed, right? Like he's got the home run ability, and I understand where that comes from. As far as impressive running backs, Quinshawn just fucking reminds me so much of Marshawn Lynch. Just so much, like just so fucking angry. He is, in my opinion, a much better NFL running back. And if you want to talk about volume is king for running backs, Quinshawn's got a much better chance at being the volume king and just carrying the mail for a fucking NFL team on all three downs because he can catch. It's overshadowed by the fact that Trev is better at catching and more explosive down the field, but Quinshawn can fucking catch. I think he's a much better running back than TreVeyon is. And this is tough to say too because TreVeyon his freshman year was, everybody's Devi Darling and RB1, whenever the hell he decided to come out. And I'm not saying injuries or anything really had to play with it. I mean, it doesn't look like he lost a whole lot to his injuries. Like it's not like it slowed him down. I just think there's a lot more areas of the NFL game that he needs to improve on. He's not very good at yet. He could be. I just don't see it from like his inside running ability isn't the greatest. It's kind of like, well, if there's a hole there, cool. But like I expected this real dynamic Ashton Genty, people talking about him in the first round of the NFL draft type prospect, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it on this film. So Quinshawn I got in a tier above him. So if I got Quinshawn as a tier above him, just by default, Trev's going to be in tier 3. He leads off tier 3, though. Like, I'm not going to draft fucking Damian Martinez or Scatabo or Rocket or Tootin ahead of him. But I don't know. Maybe it needs to be TreVeyon's tier 3 by himself. Would that make you?
Well, I mean, listen, they're your tiers. You do them. I wanted your explanation. I'm not going to tell you how you should feel. I will tell some of the people in the chat how they should feel because fuck them. But
fuck them.
Nah,
but yeah,
just love you guys.
Anyways, back to the Rocket Sanders thing. That's where he is, like tier 3. And then I feel there's a cutoff then when you get down to Ollie Gordon, Giddens, Harvey, Neal.
So do you have just those two guys in tier 3 then?
No, I have Damian Martinez, who we haven't gotten to yet. I'm way higher on him than consensus. Another one of my running back guys. Yep. Like that guy should be a second-round pick in rookie drafts.
Rocket Sanders, fuck you. You just gave us two $20 super chats, okay? You're in a tier of your own, all right? You're in tier 1 right now.
Martinez, Scatabo, Rocket Sanders, Tootin, Trev. There's my tier 3 of running backs. And then I think there's a fall-off to the next group.
Let me ask you from this standpoint. I'll just give you. I have him in my tier 2 at the top because, Mike, I think you bring up some very good points and valid concerns for Trev. For me, the draft capital still at least is seemingly towards the top end, where he has as good a chance as Quinshawn or Caleb to get the draft capital. And even though there are some concerns, I see the upside of him probably having. I think he has more upside to cash. I do think he has probably a lower floor, frankly, because he may end up very more likely in a committee. Not all these guys could end up in a committee. Let's call it what it is. But he has the ability to end up in a committee. I also think it'll
definitely change if he gets round 1 draft capital tomorrow night.
Of course,
right?
Like if any of those guys do, it changes everything.
DB's in the chat. You can't ignore the war pit rate chart that he put up with round 1 running backs and their success within their first 3 years. Their ability to finish in the top 12 is, I mean, you're 53%. People want to talk about rookie drafts or dice roll. First round running backs are almost a fucking gold mine. Like your floor is a good RB2 season. Your ceiling is top 3.
And here's the thing, right? Like, okay, you could use a Rashad Penny. Like there are misses, but one thing I'll say is Quinshawn, Trev, Caleb Johnson, I'm very in on all 3 of those prospects as a whole relative to, like, Rashad Penny. I wasn't creating content. I wasn't making rankings, but I can tell you I wasn't like, oh, my God, Rashad Penny's fucking a great prospect. Like, I don't think any of these guys, at least, that we're talking about in this class that are going to get first-round draft capital potential, I'm not like, whoa, I don't know about this prospect here, right? So – to your point there.
I don't also believe that TreVeyon's going to get drafted in the first round. Like the rumors are. Like I think we only get 2 running backs at most, and in reality, I think we only get 1. And I think Hampton and Trev both fall out of the first round. They're early day 2 guys, but
sure, yeah. Hampton, I think is almost a lock to go. He's as close to a lock, I'd say, of almost anything in the draft outside of like Cam Ward 101, Travis Hunter 102, the expecteds. I think he's as close to a lock to be the second running back off the board. And I do think he's going to get first-round draft capital, but that's honestly not even a certain thing at this point. The crazy thing, though, right? The crazy thing about it is, Mike, it only takes one team. It only takes one team. Rashad Penny, you know what's crazy about that, Rashad Penny? Seattle took him. They traded back to, I think it was 26. They had, I think, pick 18, and they came out and said that was going to be our pick if we kept the pick. Right?
Like, they fell in love with the guy.
Gee, Mike, they were going to take him at pick 18 when he wasn't a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it just takes one team to make any of these guys. But I'll say TreVeyon Henderson, as long as he's a top 50 running back, to me, if he's top 50 draft capital, he'll be my running back 3 because of the upside. I don't have any problem with Quinshon. I think what he did at the combine only boosted his stock. I just think one of the things with those two to remember, the 40 was great, but I can promise you Quinshon was trained and did very well in the 40. You can watch like the Notre Dame game, right, where this dude got caught and was going to get caught by 3 bodies. Like I'm not telling you those guys aren't fast, but I'm telling you those guys all didn't run sub 4.4s, right?
I think we all acknowledge the fact that Quinshon doesn't have the home run ability like Trev does. Even the 40 does lie a little bit, and he was trained. The excuse we like to make when we watch the film is he was just so tired of stiff-arming dudes to planet fucking Earth. You know, he just didn't have the legs, the juice when he gets caught from behind, you know? Like, he's tired of trucking people. So, like, he's a little bit out of energy.
I'm not hating on Quinshon, but I just think now with the 40s looking so close between those two, I think some people maybe think actually genuinely that don't watch that they're like, oh, Quinshon's just as fast as TreVeyon. Like, don't go down. Just don't believe that, please. That's all I ask. I'm not going to tell you again how you should think or feel about it. And for the record, Big Red Machine. Appreciate the $20 super chat again, and fuck us. I hope you know I'm playing
and
around.
For me too, like I'm not saying it because I'm knocking Trey. I think he's going to be fantastic too, and I'm with you. I just don't buy the first round hype, right? Otherwise, it would be a clear separation, and he'd have to be up there with Caleb and Quinshon for me because round 1 running backs are going to fucking matter. I think it's more a reflection on how good I feel about
those other guys.
Bashal Tuch and Damian Martinez. And
I was just going to ask.
Rocket Sanders has gotten lost in the cycle too. And I think it's because 2 years ago it was so injury riddled. And, after being a Devi Darlin, it's such prospect fatigue.
He's the poor man's Trev. He's the poor man's TreVeyon Henderson, frankly. Like the poor man's, because you can get him way later. But then I go
and I look what he did in the SEC on a good South Carolina team last year. And it was a hell of a rebound season. And it was like, oh man, the old Rocket's kind of back. And his movement skills for a guy that fucking size is pretty impressive. I mean, you're talking he's a big motherfucker. Like he's Caleb Johnson if Caleb Johnson ran with power, right? Which would be awesome. Like I would love that. I'd love if Caleb ran with Rockets power.
Who wouldn't love that? Only a Caleb hater wouldn't love that, frankly. Yeah, right. Like, come on.
Now, there's some concerns.
Because what I wanted to ask you.
Around it, but I honestly think the NFL is going to like draft this guy in round 3. And
TreVeyon Henderson?
No. Rocket.
Okay. Oh, Rocket. Okay. If he goes, if Rocket Sanders goes round 3, Mike, the lottery ticket that you took in round 3 and round 4 of rookie drafts is rocketing way up. Now, what I wanted to ask you on the flip side was, I'm curious your thought process, or just in general this thinking with TreVeyon Henderson, right? You have him in tier 3. I think with where he's going right now for pre-NFL drafts, you essentially make it to where you're going to have 0 shares, right?
Correct.
Does that? Let me just ask you from the standpoint of obviously you're aware of that. Does that worry you at all? Given the fact of he could be a first round pick, that he could is there any thought process to that going into this when you put him at tier 3 and basically say like he's off my board?
No, and it's not that it's not that he's off my board. Here's the problem. Like I'm baking in where I think he goes at in the NFL draft. Could I miss, and could I be wrong? Does he go in the first round, right? And I'd be like, damn, I wish I would have had some TreVeyon. The problem is where he's going right now is already assuming he's going in the first round. So, like, he's at his peak. Like, even if TreVeyon is let's say, pick 20 to Denver, that's their guy in the first round. Does he go any higher in rookie drafts than the 105 now? And my answer would be no. Like, that is your ceiling already. That's already baked into your costs. If you're telling me I'm passing on Trey at the 108 or the 109, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm losing out on a little bit of value here by missing him. But because he's going at 105, I'm like, I would have had to draft him there anyways. Like if we do post NFL rookie draft, that's where I'm going to have to fucking select TreVeyon Henderson. That's the right spot. In these pre NFL drafts, I'm like, none of the downside or, I think he's going to be a top 50 pick, but what if Quinshawn's a top 50 pick? What if Caleb Johnson's a top 50 pick? You're in the same tier, and I can get those guys at the early part of the second round. That's why I just pass on Trey.
Well, actually, what you bring up is a good point that, Mike, whether you have him in tier 3 or you have him in tier 2 and you have him at the back half, it really doesn't matter because of where he's going at the moment. For you to get more shares of him pre-draft, you'd have to have him at the top of your tier 2, and you don't have him at that. So it makes it easier for you to be like, nah, I'm not going to be missing on anything. It's not like I think Quinshawn go ahead of him 1 or 2 times, but by and large, to your point, Quinshawn is going after TreVeyon Henderson, and TreVeyon Henderson's going in the top 6. So that's fair. I like that. I like that take. Hey guys, I wanted to let you guys, everybody know. All right, Shane, I hope you have some of this coming tomorrow, because if you didn't catch the promo, we got a giveaway where you would have, with $50, the max entries. Mike, I don't know. I'm going to let you be the deciding factor on this. Does this carry over to tomorrow, or is this null and void?
I mean, pre-ejaculation doesn't count. All right, sorry, it just doesn't.
Well, for making a baby, it does actually.
I mean, in American Pie, did he actually lose his virginity when she touches his leg? No, so it doesn't count. Okay,
Mike, I said I gave you the reins. I'm
not even knocking him. I'm not even knocking him. If Nadia touched my leg,
let me ask you this: he put 50 in here. He's got a total of 60. Does 10 carry over?
No, none of it.
All right, Shane. Why you think I'm saying fuck you? I'm asking for the people. Okay, I'm asking for you on your behalf, knowing I'm about to get slapped on live TV. I'm about to get slapped. All right, so just know.
Judge Judy has ruled. Bro Nix has spoken.
Here's the thing, though. If you can replicate this, all right, I know it was a little early this time. It was pre-ejaculation. If you can go into round 2, actually round 1 of the NFL draft, duplicate this. You're in there for, Mike, we have a giveaway of a fucking unbelievable giveaway. When I say we, our sponsor, Ultimate Autographs, what a giveaway, a full-size helmet coming to you guys. It's a mystery box helmet, so we don't know what it is. We'll all get to see it. Box break. I was going to ask you too. When are we doing the box breaks? The giveaway will be based on day 1, and it will be given away. We will actually decide who gets it on day 2. For some people asking, I wanted to have you answer this on live. When are we actually doing the box break? When are we showing what's inside the fucking mystery box?
Ooh. We'll wait until we actually give it away on night 2.
That's what I figured, but I just wanted to
announce the winner.
Okay.
I'll reach back here. It's right back here, sitting on my floor.
God,
I'll get
so
it.
Excited.
We'll open the box live on air, and you get to see what you won. And you can fall out of your chair. You can cry, thank God. Like, take this opportunity to thank my parents for always believing in me. Whatever you need to do.
Anything is possible!
Exactly. Chug a beer. Do whatever you need to do. It's fucking awesome.
One thing we don't do at South Harmon is judge. Okay, you're accepted as you fucking are. We may talk a little weird about you. Okay, but if you're not weird in some capacity, you're not really a shithead. We're all weird as fuck. So, but by the way, he says I'm gonna hang it up and listen. But love you guys and see you during the draft. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Shane, appreciate all the love and super chats, man. Welcome to Savage.
Savage is gonna be the place to be because we've done this multiple years in a row. After round 1. Like, we're so jazzed up.
You know how much time we spend in Savage? Like, drunk?
You think we'd be exhausted. We should be exhausted.
Last year, I watched Mike and DB formed a bond over Bro Nix after round 1. It was a bond that you didn't see coming, and God, they formed a bond, man.
The post beautiful NFL draft party Thursday night in the Savage VC is the place to be. It is. That's where strategies are definitely formulated. So it's a good time. Harold Fan at 304. No,
thank you at all.
Good. DJ Giddens at 305. I mean, we kind of already touched on him. I'm higher on consensus in the community.
I think I've taken him at the back end of the second or early third. I'm higher than 305. Yeah.
Mason Taylor at the 306. I did not think I'd be here, especially at this time last year. We'd watched LSU film, right, for Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors.
Let me just ask you. He's the one tight end I might consider drafting in this draft.
He's the
is that what you would say?
I got 2 tight ends. We'll get to him in a little bit, but
all right,
yes,
fine.
This is the first one. This is the
Fair
first
enough.
one based on
he's
where
the first tight end so far I would consider drafting in this draft. This draft, I think that's a correct wording. Okay, fair enough.
I fucking hated him last year, right? Like I trashed.
I don't hate him
shit
this
out
year.
Of him. So we go to watch film this year, and Xbox remembers how much shit I talked on Mason Taylor, and Eric's out here promoting Mason Taylor, right? Like Eric, and I'm like, I'm about to embarrass E, like Mason Taylor's junk. Surprisingly, Mason Taylor got better, a lot better. Mason Taylor got a lot better. And the other thing I'll say, Adam, while people are out here taking Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland in round 1 of the rookie drafts, I'm getting a guy where I don't know if he's really going to go in the first round. I've heard the rumors that there's a possibility he's going to get drafted in the first round. I'll believe it when I see it.
Fair.
But it does really sound like Mason Taylor is going to be tight end 3 off the board, like lock. And it's going to be in the early part of the second round.
And I could see a Laporta deal where he ends up being like 2 off the board.
Yeah. So while people are wasting all these premium rookie picks in the early first round, I'm gobbling up every bit of Mason Taylor, and he does actually go in our South Harmon drafts. I got him at like a 304, elated that I got him at the 304 multiple times.
Yeah, when there's a tight end premium, the third round is where I'm probably most comfortable shooting a shot on tight ends. And
perfect.
Mason Taylor is like the quintessential because here's my other thing, Mike. I've seen plenty of times where he actually goes higher than that. So I am comfortably taking him at the 303, 302, I'd say, 301 even, if the tight end premium warrants it and Warp is decent at tight end.
And depending on who I'm drafting against and how many of my running back guys go earlier.
For sure.
Late second round's a consideration for Mason Taylor.
Great point with Mason Taylor. That's a great point I wanted to highlight. Because Ollie Gordon, for me, Mike, I love him. I'm a little queasy. Like, I want to see him get the draft capital. Mike, I don't know right now, frankly. And I'm scared. I'll be honest with you. I'm fucking scared shitless right now. So he isn't someone I've been drafting at this point. If I knew he had day 2 draft capital, Mike, I'd be so pissed with my pre-NFL drafts because I know I'd want way more Ollie Gordon. Post-NFL draft, I'd make sure to get some Ollie Gordon. But right now, if you tell me Martinez is gone, Giddens gone, Tootin's gone, Harvey's gone, Sampson's gone, Neal's gone, Scadabo's gone, you know what I'm drafting? I hate to tell y'all, but it's not Hale Maynor. It's fucking Mason Taylor. I don't think I had many opportunities to, but that would be what I would be doing. And good call. And this is just, can I tell you that this is a South Harmon A-Warp life, tight end. It is. Warp life. It's just the way it is, man. It's got nothing really to do other than I hate that one Tyler Warren I have. I guess it's okay because it's So
one of our traditions is going to get broken this year. I feel like it has to.
Fuck. What now? That's not good.
It has to, and I hope it's the first.
What is the tradition? Now you're scaring me.
We have the tradition of really being way too optimistic on the quarterback market in the NFL draft and then getting disappointed, right? Like you talked about 2022, terrible year for us.
Mike, I'm going into this year, and I don't want to relive 2022, and I'm at least not positioned to because I didn't draft it a lot.
The other tradition, though, that's worked out very well for you and I over the years has been the later tight end selections. While everybody else kills themselves over Kyle Pitts, we were the ones who were like, just take Pat Freiermuth in the mid to late seconds. Like the same shit. Now, there for a time, it looked like we were dumbasses. It
was a bad take for about a year. Okay, it was a terrible take for about a year. But guess what, motherfuckers? What now? It's not even about Pat Freiermuth. It's about Kyle Pitts. I know. And then what? Fizz, if you're somewhere screaming, scream.
While everybody was killing, I don't even remember who the other fucking tight ends were. Dalton Kincaid. While everybody was killing themselves over Dalton Kincaid, you and I are like third, fourth rounders taking Sammy Ballgame.
Dude, Mike, I was fearful for my life a couple times last year on the other side of the pessimistic side of Dalton Kincaid.
Don't forget Tucker Kraft. We also got Tucker Kraft.
Mike, can I tell you though? You know what was great about Tucker Kraft was very similarly the people that drafted. Mike, I drafted one single time I drafted Musgrave, right? And it was you know why? Like it was round 3 and like he fell. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's my one share. But you know what I still did in 90% of my drafts? We talked about this at nauseum. Tucker Kraft over Luke Musgrave. We put that out on record. Best part again was like early on, clowning. Not even having to, because it's a stupid take, people think, right? Like, what fucking idiots. But no one's even paying attention to that shit, right? Because, like, you know how great it is to see Tucker Kraft? It's like the Mark Andrews, maybe not to that degree, but Mark Andrews in, what's the kid's name out of South Carolina? That was drafted ahead of Mark Andrews on the Ravens. Hayden Hurst, thank you. So, yeah. It feels good with Tucker Kraft, but where you're going with this sounds more like we've had our fun. Now we're getting ready to have our shit.
I hope, like, we're putting 2 streaks on the line here, right? Like, and I'm hoping after tomorrow night it's like, fine, we broke the quarterback thing. We actually got the quarterbacks. We got 3 or 4 of them in the first round. Look at us, all right? We're not completely stupid. The curse is over.
We're kind of stupid, but yeah, we're not.
I just
dead.
hope that doesn't come at the expense of Mason Taylor in the 3rd round's the best fucking value tight end that you're going to get when people are blowing their wads on Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren in the 1st, all right? We're hoping to continue that tradition. We want that one to go on. That's
fair.
A good one.
I'm okay. I'm with you. Now let's, Mike, for a day, for 24 hours, for 48. We're going to need 48, let's be honest. We're going to need 48 hours to hold strong on this, all right? And Fizz, it was a bad take. Now you take the pits. I'll tell you the truth, buddy.
I respect Fizz's devotion to shitty-ass Kyle Pitts. Like,
I'll be honest. I respect Fizz being present, putting one thing at the start, saying nothing, and then being like, no, I'm still here. You sons of bitches. I'm still here. No, he's been commenting away, but
I know.
I love you, Fizz. You can keep your pits at cost. When I did get Kyle Pitts, it was from Mike at a cost that just broke me. Now, granted, all the players I sent away outside of one, I think, busted, and I still don't like it. And I still don't like it. That's how bad Kyle Pitts has been, okay? So fuck me, all right?
Jalen Royals at 308. I think that's kind of about right. I like Jalen Royals, but I'm not going to say I'm higher than consensus in mid-3rd.
So Jalen Royals and Jack Beck, to me, Mike, personally.
Same thing.
They're the last guys at the receiver position I'm drafting. Period. Ooh. Can I tell you why? I don't. Nobody else after this, like Restrepo for me personally, I lost it at the combine. I'm out. Everybody after him, Mike, Tez Johnson, Savion Williams, like even in best ball, I'm really just not interested. Honestly, I don't think they fit the bill for what I'm looking for on my dynasty teams. So
no,
I'm frankly just not. What I'm doing, Mike, after that is I'm drafting, even if. As much as you and I don't like him, Jordan James. I'm drafting, Brashard Smith, Rocket Sanders if he's still there, Jaden Blue. There's a bunch of running backs. To the question here that I had pulled up, I'm going to pull it back up, right? John Paul Taylor. I love when I get 3 names in one. Great show, fellas. Love this class. Guys like here, Jarquez Hunter to me. Mike, I drafted Jarquez Hunter quite frequently. He has Raheem Sanders. Let me just say, you and I can acknowledge pretty easily here, Rocket Sanders would be at the top of the names that you're putting here, right? So we got Hunter.
Clear tier above the rest of these guys from.
Yeah, he would be the primary. Like that's the guy I'm targeting first. Then to me, it would be Hunter in a separate tier. Then I would put Taj Brooks, Kyle Monangai, and Krosky Merritt. So that would be my order. What is yours?
Rocket clear running away with this.
1, yeah.
Taj Brooks, clearly for me, in a tier by himself.
You got him ahead of Hunter in a tier? Okay.
Yep, then Jarquez Hunter. Between Merritt and Kyle, Kyle disappointed the shit out of me. Like, I don't care. I don't fucking care. I could tell you instead of taking those 2 running backs who I'd take. Colin Granger, which I took everywhere because he is the placeholder for Luke Lachey, who's not in the fucking system. You want to talk about the only other tight end I'll draft? It's Colin Granger to use as a placeholder so I can name Luke Lachey as the player in his spot because he's not in Sleeper's fucking system. And I've gotten like 75 shares of Luke Lachey with Colin Granger in the 5th round of my rookie draft. So instead of taking one of those running backs, I'd take Luke Lachey.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you and I are pretty similar except for we had Taj Brooks and Jarquez Hunter flipped, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I like Taj more, but I get that. The Hunter's not better.
I'm pretty bullish on Hunter. I'll just say, like, it's nothing against Taj Brooks. Actually, I like him. I'm really bullish on Hunter. I like his style of play.
Fight you on it. Let's say I would, to your point though about wide receivers and stuff, like Rocket, Taj, Jarquez Hunter. I'm taking all those before 4'9" Xavier Restrepo or whatever the fuck it was.
Dude, yes. Basically, all these guys,
Have we
Tez
ever
Johnson,
seen that before
no.
with a wide receiver where their height matches their 40 time?
Yeah.
5'9" and 5'9"?
Restrepo. That's the only one I can think of. I mean, dude, because here's the thing. If you're small and slow, buddy, you're going to have to be so quick. You're going to have to be so unique. Like, it's still bigger, stronger, faster at the NFL level. Like, Mike, here's the thing. If he ends up being the enigma and I'm wrong, I'll be okay with it. And we'll look back in a year from now and people will tell you why we should have seen it coming. I'll be honest with you. You shouldn't have. You just fucking got lucky. You got lucky. That's okay.
I'm really fucking good on Restrepo.
Hey, speaking
so no
of,
thanks.
Listen, look at Jay. Are you kidding? I mean, listen, Jay, we're family, okay? You can't take that from me. I also love what he just did here. I finally convinced my home league, which is 10-team, 1 quarterback, to convert to Superflex in 26. With that in mind, how would you approach this rookie draft?
It's 10-team Superflex, so I'm glad you went to Superflex at least, but it's still 10-team.
We do need to find 2 more friends. We'll get you there slowly but surely, right?
Eventually, yeah. I would say I would approach it the same way you would a 1-quarterback league, with the caveat of Adam, this is where I would be a lot more bullish on taking Jalen Milroe.
I would 100% agree. I 100% agree. Superflex, in that same prior question, Jalen Milroe is way higher for me. I'm with you.
Redward's out here gifting memberships.
Look at Red.
It's a big dub.
Look at Red. If he wasn't, if he was not from Michigan, Red and I would get along fucking so great.
For all reference, Hunter Renfrow was 5'10" and ran a 4.59, and he's got a dad bod. So that's how bad Xavier Restrepo's athletic profile is. Can you now New Balances?
Can you now give Xavier Restrepo's for those that may not be fully privy?
What was it, fucking 4.7?
Dude, when you get to 4.7s, Mike, I just want 4.7 for an average. Like if we had a South Harmon 40-yard dash, 4.7 would be fine, right?
Okay, player profile. I thought it was a 4.7. I don't know why it was a 4.7. Player profile has got about a 4.91.
Right, because Mike, I'm pretty sure wasn't it a 4.8 something in the pro day, which then you put the 0.5.
Oh my God,
Mike, 4.8. I just want people to understand this. Like when you go to the speed score for like the running back position,
first percentile.
Dude, Mike, I'm trying to explain. If we had a South Harmon 40-yard dash, I think we'd have a chance. Now we may not. But we'd have a chance to be pretty damn close to getting someone at the 4.9 range. We would. It may not be you or I. It might be somebody else that's younger or whatever. I think we get close. My point is that we are not fast people. Like, we're not fast people at all. We're slow as fuck. Xavier Restrepo is outside of the range of carrying. He was so slow, Mike. It's super concerning. Like, to me, it's super concerning. You can't be that slow.
I don't know. DB's the analytics guy. Have you ever seen a wide receiver with a first percentile speed score have success?
Just having one. Then have any of those people, if there is any of that tier people, have any of those people been successful in fantasy football?
Was Anquan Bolden even that fucking slow?
No, Anquan Bolden I think was in the 4.7s. I'm pretty sure, because actually, Mike, it might have been high 4.6s. Joe actually at BDGE 4.71. That was what I was going to say, because Joe beat. He was faster than Anquan Bolden at that BDGE combine, but Anquan Bolden, Mike, is totally different than Restrepo. Anquan Bolden was a physical specimen, like strength-wise.
6'1", 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he's fucking jacked up. Xavier Restrepo's 5'9". It's not the same thing. Like, I'm sorry. It's also not only is he not Bolden as far as a specimen, Mike, he ran much slower than 4.71. So
yeah.
I will say Doc basically says, listen, if I didn't run sub 4.7, I'd be upset. 4.9, easy.
What about that one? I just saw Plaxico Burris was listed there. I wonder what Plaxico at 6'5" or 6'6", whatever.
This is my point.
Hold on though.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Plaxico at 6'5" or 6'6", whichever one you want to go with. He was a tall, lanky wide receiver.
Yeah.
Right? 4.59.
but that's my point. Even if he did, Plaxico Burris is a physically imposing. Even if he wasn't like Anquan Bolden ripped up, that's a dude that you can't mess with on a jump ball. Like this isn't Restrepo at 5'9", guys. Restrepo was already going to be limited as a slot receiver. You know, his overall game kind of needed him to at least be not slow. He can be quick. He doesn't have to be a fast player, but I think it would be otherworldly to see him successful in any capacity in the NFL with how slow he is.
I usually like player profilers, player comps on these. Like, they're fun, right? They're not always accurate. I usually like them. Like, they're interesting. They're interesting. Ahead, sure. They got him as KJ Osborne, so I was like, KJ Osborne's had some success, so I click on him. KJ Osborne ran a 4.48 at 6'2", 203. I don't know how that's
kind of fast.
5'9", 4'9", 40 Xavier Restrepo, but whatever.
For the case in point, Caleb Johnson, who ran the 4.57, people are trying to be, the people that are pushing the narrative of him not being fast. 4.57, Mike. 4.48's faster than that for those that need math.
Right, that was an interesting.
Like, what's the difference between 4.57 Caleb Johnson and 4.91 Xavier Restrepo? Like,
night and day.
Dude, I'm telling you this, there was offensive linemen, Mike, you can fact check me. There was offensive linemen in this class that ran faster than Xavier Restrepo ran the 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
Fact. Like, that happened. At the NFL Combine.
310-pound biscuits and gravy eating my kind of people.
Did you see
out there moving? That's why offensive linemen are the best athletes in football.
Did you see the average 40-yard dash, Mike, for the offensive line in this year's class was sub 5?
Let's go.
That's fucking crazy.
Stand up. Best and smartest.
Anyway, here we go. This is Pello. You know what, Pello? Great comment. Mike typically is ready to smack you to the other side of the tariffs, which you talked about, but look at this. At 332, ran the same 40 that Restrepo ran at 210.
Nuts.
I mean, at this point, we just have we're kind of basically saying if Restrepo goes crazy, we have a lot of receipts. Someone might be clip this whole part, 5-10 minute segment, Mike. Have a field day with us. I don't care. Fuck me if I. Well,
let's finish out this real quick. Jordan James, Terrence Ferguson. I think they're in the ranges that they go. I'm not higher than any of those guys. I
expected to be out on Jordan James, Mike. 4th round, I'm okay with it, honestly. Like, I thought he would go higher than that,
Yep. Brashad Smith, I could say, can fit in this higher than consensus. I think he should be a late third round pick.
I wish I got more of him, but he was not a well kept secret in South Harmon,
Nope. Jaden Blue, don't really give a shit. I mean, sorry.
I took him at this range though, late 4th, 5th round. Like, I'm fine with it.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Gunnar Helm, no. Again, you want to talk about bad 40s? Guy rolled his ankle. I think he still ran faster than Xavier Restrepo. Sorry, Xavier, getting fucking buried. Part of this has to do with Kurt Benkert too. Fuck you. Fuck you. Anytime I can tell Kurt to fuck off, I want to do it. Tez Johnson's off my board. Not taking him in 5-round rookie drafts, maybe 7-round rookie draft. I'd take Tez Johnson just because we'd run out of players.
Sure.
I'm good. Savion, Maddie's trying to get me on this one, and I'm really trying to I can see the appeal.
Maddie, don't listen to me then when I said I'm done drafting receivers after Jack Beck, huh?
Yeah, listen, this might be the thing though. If I'm taking Savion, it's not because I think he's a wide receiver. I'm hoping an NFL team makes him Cordell Patterson, turns him into that.
Damn.
What I love them.
Damn, really? Okay.
Them great yak wide receivers, those physical specimens who turn into
you basically decide instead of trying to always manufacture him a touch via quick screen, right? Let's give him some carries. I'm with you. Okay, I can see that.
Let's actually give him the rock out of the backfield. And if that happens, man, Savion's going to be really interesting. In the mid-4th, I don't think Maddie's not crazy with this one.
Well, right? Here's what I'll say. You can point to that. I'm actually now curious. I'm trying to think in my head. One thing I try not to bet on is outlier. There may be some. Do we have other Cordell Pattersons, converted receivers at the NFL level to running backs that have actually given us fantasy? Okay, but wasn't he drafted as a running back though?
Yes, but Savion could be announced,
as a running back.
As a running back, that could really happen.
if that was the case, if they're classifying him as a running back in the draft, I think I'd be much more interested. But Cordell was like a NFL receiver, I guess, is when I was thinking about this. Right,
first round wide receiver. Yeah, I don't know.
And then all of a sudden he pivoted to a running back in the league. I just don't know if that's happened. Okay.
But we've had. I love.
Ty Montgomery had some success. There's E. That was a good pool. 88 to running back, right?
Yep. He never even switched the number. He drafted as.
That was my favorite part, actually. Yeah. People were so pissed back in the day.
For whatever reason, I got a soft spot in my fucking heart. That's why I'm higher on Brashad Smith. Same kind of thing, but he did it in college, right?
Yeah, and now he's a running back. I think that we can point to. I like that.
Tyrone Tracy last year,
which he was similar. Mike, if you told me right now, I think that if I saw more running back reps from him in college and we said that's what he's going to pivot to, I would be a lot more interested. I think right now, I'm nervous that's. But I don't want to be projecting that to be the case.
We didn't see a whole shit ton of running back reps from Antonio Gibson when he came out. They just NFL teams said, "Hey, we want to list you as a running back. Can you play running back?" And he was like, "Fuck it, let's go." Like all my touches in college at wide receiver / tight end is what he was playing. Were basically manufactured shit like TreVeyon has. So like there's a scenario. The only interesting one is when Eric brought this up about TreVeyon switching to running back months and months and months ago. When he brought this up, I was like, dude, this is like a 6'4" guy. Like the Cordell Patterson never clicked in my head. Like
sure.
Like I'm thinking Tyrone Tracy, I'm thinking Antonio Gibson. I'm not thinking like 6'4" running backs. Turns out he's also not 6'4" because TCU lies about like everything. Apparently, it's just what they do.
What Christians they are, you know?
Yeah, fucking assholes. But a 6'2".
Do you know what Player Profiler has as his best comparable for the record?
Is it Cordell?
I think Matt Kelly was listening to America's Game. Say
Say
what you will, but it's Cordell Patterson.
Okay.
Well, but here's what I will say though about it. Right, I can understand that. Man. My problem with that would be, like this ADP for the record has him drafted ahead of Rocket Sanders, and for me, there's still so many regular running backs, Mike, that I actually prefer to draft ahead of TreVeyon because we're talking about like 3, 4 scenarios where that type of thing has paid off. My point, I guess, with him would be like if he clears my waivers or he's in the 5th round, I think I could justify it a little more. Dude, this class is not the greatest. I'll tell you that straight up. And I shouldn't be the first time. Me saying that shouldn't be the first time you heard that. What I will say though, Mike, is the 4th to me is still interesting with a lot of the players, especially at the running back position ahead of him.
Think about it though. How many guys go after him that you go, I'll clearly draft above him? McCord, Gabriel, no.
I'm not. Well,
Rocket.
Yeah, no.
Rocket, yes.
Rocket,
Riley
yes.
Leonard, no.
Jarquez Hunter, yes.
Aronde Gadsden.
Nah.
Donovan Edwards.
What's his name? Taj Brooks. Yes. Taj Brooks is not even listed on here.
I know. Ty Felton. No, I'm just looking at where it's going right now. Now, Let's do the other one. How many of these guys would you draft TreVeyon over? Tez Johnson? Fuck yes. Gunnar Helm?
Sure.
Yes. Terrence Ferguson? Yes. Xavier Estrepo? Yes. Will Howard? Probably.
Yeah, I would draft him. I would draft him ahead of the quarterbacks. Well, those two quarterbacks. Sorry.
Like, that's where we're at with them. So, like, mid to early 4th round, TreVeyon. Why not? Why not TreVeyon?
Wait, Adams are mid-second. What's the hype? I'm confused with Devontae Adams. Cashing in on the hype. I'm confused by your tactics. So I'm going to keep acting tough until I figure them out.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, Eric. Don't say round 6 Rocket Sanders. Don't be an asshole. We just gave you your props.
He also, how Eric's not going to fucking shy away from the fight. So good on him.
Last one though that I'll talk about, and he wasn't listed. Luke Lachey's not on here at all because he's not in sleeper system.
You can get him in the waiver run.
They'd much rather give us fucking player horoscopes than they would put all the rookies in the system or give us college fantasy football at this point. So like I'm starting to get salty, like pissy. You know what I mean?
Mike, but you've known this is coming. I respect the fuck out of your fight. I've respected it.
Like I've been the biggest sleeper proponent since this show started, right? Like I fought Eric on this, and I kind of got Eric to come around a little bit. MFL is great for the customization, and the auction feature's great. The website's dog shit. No real ability to have a mobile app. in 2025 is fucking ludicrous. And the fact that those fucking the audacity of those motherfuckers to charge what they charge to run your leagues on MFL and raise the price every single year without putting any of that money back in.
But they're a monopoly, though. They're a monopoly. There's no competition for what they're running, so they can charge whatever they want, you know?
It is fucking ridiculous. And then, like Sleeper, they're right there, man. And I know the person who made it and then ended up with the monetization and the ability to do sports betting and the sleeper picks and all that. Like, that's brilliant.
For sure.
But the fact they're ignoring me on some very simple stuff is just chapping my ass, right? Like, you had the opportunity to make this the premier fantasy platform in all the fucking world where MFL would die. Like, you just need to take some of the stuff they have and put it into yours. And that's it. You just got to make that simple little switch. And you refuse to do it.
Well,
you're ignorant.
Are you talking about the lack of putting college in or the fact that they don't customize more?
Everything, okay. Right? Like, if you took MFL's auction system and put it in there, that ability to do it and change starting bid amounts and the whole thing and do a slow proxy auction, killer, right? Like, that'd be killer. Then you take the Fantrax thing with the ability to have college football, killer. And if you could also maybe put the right fucking, like, there is 8,000 dynasty podcasts out there with people who know and talk about rookies that aren't even in the system on Sleeper with the ability to draft. Like, just hire one of those guys, right? Like, what we want you to do is, we don't even need pictures. Just go in and put their fucking height, weight, and their name and what school they went to and what position they're going to play in fantasy football. Put them in the system so our people can draft them. That's all we need you to do. It's going to take you, like, Eric does this shit with our ranking sheet in like 30 minutes and keeps it updated. You don't think, like, Eric would go work for Sleeper and do this for them? He'd be like, yeah, just give me like $100, man. I got it. Done. Give me an afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, I love the fight. I love the vigor. I'll say, like, Tim's comment here is kind of, what I don't want to do is, take the opposite stance for my guy, because I don't have any say in the matter. I don't have any, like, I get nothing for the other side. It's one of those simple, like, just call it what it is. There's nothing in it for them. There's just nothing in it for them. Right?
Everything they've done in the last couple of years, Adam, has just soured me so much. Right? Like, putting the horoscopes in when there's other things to fix. It was like, that was a middle finger to most of us. Nobody gave a shit. Hiring Kurt Benkert as your fantasy analyst makes me want to jump off a fucking bridge. But what are you doing?
But Mike, let me just give you but isn't that the point, though? Don't you think South Harmon, yourself, a lot of people that are with us, I'm not speaking for the entire everyone. So if you don't agree with this fully, please understand I'm not generalizing you as every person here. Mm-hmm. But the reason we have this platform, this podcast, whatever this is, we have takes that I think are different than the majority of the community, right? And at a certain point, when somebody becomes the primary, right? Like, Sleeper is right now the unargued, undisputed, like, king of generalized fantasy football. Do you know what's going to come with that? The shit that we don't promote. Like, period, right? Like,
yeah,
it's Mike. They have a stranglehold on the average fantasy football player right now. That
they do.
There's nothing in it for them. So, for their market share perspective, if they put college in, do you know how many new people they would gain to their platform? Zero.
Quite a bit.
They'd gain zero.
Quite a bit.
They'd gain zero.
No, there's tons of people out there, right? Go over and talk to the campus to Canton guys, like, and not just Matt Bruning or Felix Sharp.
I'm not saying a zero. They'd gain 0%. Like, the percentage of the people that they have generalized, like, they would gain maybe hundreds, thousands relative to their whole platform. Like, that's why they don't. I mean, I'm sure they told probably campus to Canton that.
There's a decent percent now in today's day and age, and you know this through fandom of football in general, right? There is a very vocal and diehard fucking group that does not fuck with the NFL. They don't care. They could care less, right? They're about their college football, their teams, their passion, right? And you see that in fandom. It's the reason why college football stadiums can seat 110,000 people and sell out every fucking weekend. every weekend. Even when you play DB's favorite, Sisters of St. Mary's Culinary School, Michigan Stadium's going to be full. The Horseshoe's going to be full. There is plenty of people, because it's so regional, that are much bigger, right, and more passionate college football fans than they are NFL fans, and they could really care less about the NFL. Now, holistically across the country, that's not true, right?
But to that point, though, let's just stay on that point. How many of those people play fantasy football? They don't, because it's an NFL thing.
Those people don't play fantasy football, or hadn't in the past. I can tell you now, within the last couple of years, those people have started to play college fantasy football and don't fuck with NFL fantasy football at all. They don't care. Just like they don't care about the NFL in general. So then they're playing redraft or dynasty college fantasy football only. Like, that is a real thing. So to say like the market would be zero it's not going to be giant, right? They're not going to get a 10% increase in their user base.
Well, that's my point. You can fight me on 0%, but if it's not to 10, Mike, it's basically 0 is how they're going to view it. You can fight me tooth and nail on the actual percentage,
which is fine. But you also have people going to different platforms and taking away from their time on the app, right? Their time spent using their app and running up the numbers, which is what all social media companies want, is you to keep the app open for as long as possible, so they're able to promote, their betting platform, their picks platform, right? That's another opportunity for viewership. By not having any type of college fantasy football and giving us League of Legends fantasy, or giving us fucking March Madness brackets, or giving us whatever the fuck else they give us, and completely ignoring the college, is actively taking away from their user base. Not even adding on to what the little bit, which I would acknowledge, the little bit they would gain by just having college fantasy in general. But every time that I got to leave that fucking app to go look at my C2C leagues, and I have nothing but fan tracks open on fucking Saturdays while I'm watching football, that's taken away from opportunity for Sleeper to sell me some shit.
Okay. I mean, I hear your opinion, but just straight up, for them, how many people here have left Sleeper, right? Like, it's one of those things where even if they're wrong in the long play, at this point, with what they're probably having to put into the cost of, like, we don't have any idea the cost of what they have to try to do because of the numbers that they're running now. I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just saying from a standpoint, like, I don't even think, and I can just tell you from what I kind of heard over just seeing from from Felix, I don't even think they're considering it. To your point, they're not even hitting, I don't even think they're thinking of it. So it's not like, it's basically not even in their consideration, whether it's right or wrong in the long term. I think in the short term,
but isn't this a good example of, at one point, MFL was the only thing that really offered what serious dynasty players wanted, right? Like,
as far as customization, sure.
As far as customization, right? And what happened with MFL? MFL did not, they still have a nice, fervorous fan base, right? But you can't tell me that when Sleeper came along, they haven't felt the sting of everybody, the general people like you and I, who are like, MFL's fucking dog shit, man. Like, I don't want to play on this shit no more. I don't have any fucking leagues on MFL. Like, that has gone by the wayside. The only time I use MFL is to do a proxy auction so I can transport the fucking league into Sleeper, right? Now, I'm just saying, they're going to stay pat and they're going to keep doing what they do because you say it doesn't make financial sense for them. This goes on for another 3-4 years and some other company comes along, like Sleeper, a startup that comes out of the blue and says, you know what, we're going to give you MFL's customization. We're going to give you the ease of use that Sleeper has, and we're going to give you college fantasy football. You don't think people like me, you, the South Harmon community, the people who fucking watch this are going to look at that and go, buy Sleeper? Like, then it becomes a financial thing for them, right? Sure. When everybody fucking starts to disappear and leave. So not innovating or not trying to do something more or not pandering to the diehard base that you already have is going to sour that base against you eventually. And if a better option comes along, adios.
Sure.
See you later.
I mean, I just think about when Sleeper was not popular, not the 101. Like, what I'm just saying from the standpoint of right now, what Sleeper, when they started, where they're trying to go, where they're at, they've already kind of exceeded expectations. And I think right now it's one of those things where they have so many people on their platform, Mike. I don't even think we really truly, even if we think we know, have an idea of what the overhaul costs of having those type of numbers. They beat out, like, for example, ESPN, people fucking were starting to hate towards the end. I don't think people even loved it from the beginning, but they hated to the point. It's Sleeper just getting to this point. Frankly, I think that as in and of itself was already the biggest win out there, because it wasn't like some big company, some media company that is the 101 fantasy app. Now, I'm not telling you they're not going to, in the long run, screw themselves or not be in the position to stay at the 101, but I think at least what this has done is put it to the point where what hopefully will pass is going to be the next MFL that's better, or Sleeper, where that now at least can be driven by someone that's not this media company that's just making money that doesn't give a fuck. So I think Sleeper right now probably is also at a point where I don't even think they thought they'd be here, and now they probably don't seriously take on crazy risk like that, right?
I also think financially they're doing fine, no matter how much they have.
Oh, they're doing phenomenal, I would sure.
They're doing fucking great. When they launched basically what was a hybrid Prize Picks and put that in, they just started becoming their own. You don't see broke casinos, and it's the same thing with them. Like,
right.
Which is why they go out and they can hire big media personalities or bigger in the space, right? Like what they felt was like edgy and cool, and like Kurt Benkert, who had the Madden following, right? Like breaking down Madden, which to Kurt's credit, he's fantastic at it. It's the NFL draft analysis and trying to be a fantasy guy that he fucking sucks at.
Yeah. I think at a certain point, when you get to the point where they're at, Mike, maybe they will fall off, to your point, down the road. But you start choosing what's the big play thing, right? And they probably do start running away more from the niche play because of where they're at. And over time, that may sink them. But I guess what I'm trying to say more so than anything is not even to defend them. I just think from the standpoint of, like, I don't even think it's in the realm of their consideration anywhere anytime soon, unless there's a serious player that all of a sudden offers it. And then at that point, they'd be reactive. I think that's kind of where we're at with the reality of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not going to be anytime soon. It doesn't feel like it. But also, you've seen college fantasy football as a whole explode in popularity here over the last year, right? Like, you and I have gone to the Expo, for the last how many fucking years, Adam? And, like, last year and the year before was the first couple years that
somebody's
college fantasy
chomping
football,
at the bit for sure.
College fantasy football is front and center, at the Expo. Like, it's a main event type thing. They're holding shit on Saturdays. They're holding college football drafts on Saturdays specifically, right? Like, it used to be more of a niche kind of quiet thing where we talk about like IDP, and now C2C and college fantasy football redraft wise is becoming pretty damn popular amongst the community. So I think at some point that pressure is going to build enough. I don't know if how long it's going to take, but I'm not going to say it's never going to happen or they're never going to feel the pressure. I think they're probably starting to, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, I think the numbers that people playing college fantasy football will have to grow to the point where Sleeper would make it a free thing. That's what they kind of do, right? So I think the numbers have to be so much higher for them to offer it free. And basically they're willing to say, listen, someone can take this as a customized MFL thing, right? And you guys run it how you want to. But I think for Sleeper to consider it, the numbers of people playing the game probably have to grow a lot higher. I'm fine to end the rant, Dr. B. Harris. We're not even. We're just, I think, discussing things. But hey, that's fine. We can end the rant for your sake, Doctor. Whatever you say.
There you go.
Don't innovate and watch yourself become a distant memory. Fair enough. I think the questions are back here. I'll try to go find them.
We'll find some. That was the draft consensus, though, guys that were higher on.
Mike,
and to your point, Adam, there's some running backs on there that didn't ever get taken.
Well, Mike, I think to me, the biggest thing that I would like to talk about, which we don't have to do it ad nauseum, but Mike, there are so many running backs not even listed on this ADP in the top 51 picks.
Yeah.
That's to me why I'm not drafting wide receivers past Jalen Royals and Jack Beck. That's to me why I'm not drafting Savion Williams.
One guy that's not listed on here too, and not running wide receivers past this. When you brought that up, I wanted to say it. The fact Kyle Williams doesn't make this ADP list is fucking absurd. Kyle Williams deserves, for me, I'd take him in the third round. And in one of these fucking drafts that we're doing right now, I don't know if it's the OG shit league, I got him in like the fifth round.
Actually, okay. Mike, I'll tell you, that was an oversight on my part because Kyle Williams would be one of the ones I would draft. out of the 5th round was I missed him. I missed him even being here.
That's how absurd it is. He's not even listed in the top 5 rounds on ADP. So
just that they're not innovating to more niche markets is what the conversation overall was. That at the moment, we all I think agree no one can touch sleeper. So
not so at this point, right? That Kyle Williams isn't on this fucking list.
Yeah, Kyle Williams is missed here. I think Mike, there's a handful of running backs. I don't know if you want to start with the ones you want to touch on them, but
yeah,
Taj Brooks.
We didn't talk about Trevor Etienne. I got Trevor Etienne in the same tier that Devin Neal and RJ Harvey and Brashard Smith is in. He's
Etienne
not listed on here either.
Yep.
Taj Brooks, we had brought up. Woody Marks deserves to be in that conversation.
Marks, another great call.
LaQuint Allen is somebody that I kind of like. And then the last couple running backs that I bothered to rank, I don't think Henry Parrish Jr. is in the system, but Kyle Mullins is. That's somebody in the 5th round I wouldn't mind taking.
I think I took one shot on him, yep.
And then probably one of my favorite 512s that, I've made a few times now. Why not? Marcus Yarns. Blue Hen, stand up. Let's go.
Marcus Yarns, yep. I like, what's his name? I can't think of the guy's first name now all of a sudden. Jackson. Is it Jaquavion?
Smith and Jigba.
Smith and Jigba, there you go. Well, look at the jersey.
Jaquin Jackson.
Yeah, Jaquin and Jackson. Thank you, Jaquin and Jackson, yes. I like Jaquin and Jackson at the end of the 5th or, waivers as well. So, yeah. But plus everyone you mentioned as well. And to me, Mike, those are guys I'm shooting my shot in the 4th and in the 5th round, frankly, most of those players. So, once we get past, to your point, Kyle Williams, Jalen Royals, Jack Beck, Mike, and that's actually exactly right. There's 12 wide receivers that I've drafted in my drafts so far, and those are them.
Yep. I got 14 listed on my ranks. And then, if we want to add in Savion Williams or Ty Felton as like 5th rounders, 4th rounders for Savion, like those are kind of it. Everybody that comes after that, I'm a Jimmy Horn guy, but let's be honest, probably ain't happening. LeJontay Wester, kind of same thing. DK, Arian Smith, Elijah Badger, Deontay Thornton. Those guys are just like, let's get to UDFAs and let me just pick them up. We can see what the draft capital is. If it ain't shit, then buy. Like free roster spots in. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Mike, do you want to take this one?
I don't even know if that dude's in the system.
Who?
Yeah.
No. Where? I mean, he's with Waldo. Go find him. Good luck.
With Waldo. You got to use a Colin Granger placeholder. I'm picking on Colin Granger, but yeah, that's a good story, and I hope it works out for him. He's already signed to a team. He's going to be a rookie technically, but he never played football. He was a basketball player. Like they're trying to make Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez, 2.0. So I don't know if it'll actually have. It's a good story, but that's just the guy I pick on because he plays tight end, and I was like, who the fuck's Colin Granger? And I had to Google him. I was like, oh, that's his story. Okay, you're going to be a great placeholder for Luke Lachey once Sleeper gets their head out of their ass.
So we got, I think we have, okay, this is a multiple question. This is a multiple chat. So I had 226 first and bought Jaden Reed for one of them. Talent is obvious. Thoughts? I probably would not have done that.
No, thank you.
The talent's obvious. I don't think I would have sent a 26 first for it personally.
Let me ask you, if it wasn't a 26 first and it was the 110 in this class, Luther Burden, Emeka Buka, you still sending that for Jaden Reed?
The way I play, I probably wouldn't because I think I could try to sell the pop whenever that might be for a Luther Burden for a little bit more than Jaden Reed. But if you tell me that I don't have that opportunity and I'm just looking for Jaden Reed to take a step forward this year from what he did the back half of last year, yeah, I definitely think it could make sense there. I don't have a problem with that.
And that's the thing. It's in the same tier already, right off the rip. So I'm definitely not sending a 26 first. That's, as much as we like to say late or early or mid or this is a really good team, bad shit happens to good teams sometimes. And you see dudes go to 104. So if you told me I sent a 26 104 for Jaden Reed, I'd be fucking devastated.
And that in lies where I think this is kind of, listen, you could say we were ranting, we beating a dead horse, talking about the topic too long, but where we're different, I think, than the majority of fantasy gamers or the market would be, I think when I have 26 first, any future first, right? Especially once I have more than just my pick. So I have two and beyond. The idea of variance is so so real to me. One, I've experienced it on teams that I thought were going to be great. You and I both thought were going to be great that fucking missed the playoffs, okay? Playoffs? Like, I love having multiple firsts in the same class because I can package those together and get something higher than, way higher than Jaden Reed. But also, if, let's say we're considering right now it's a late first, like if that doesn't become a late first, I shot way too low on Jaden Reed, even if he probably cashes in on what I thought he could become. So that I think is the point. Is it's more that we think higher of the random 26 first than probably a lot of the community does, frankly. So to your point here, though, you're on mute. Sorry. Go ahead.
Chat got me here, too. Like another guy that we didn't talk about, didn't list because he's not on that ADP list. Torrey Horton. How the fuck is Torrey Horton not on here?
Well, let me tell you something. I didn't draft him, but it's because he was going pretty high in our drafts, like a lot higher than I expected.
But then on this ADP, he's
still not here.
503 is the cutoff.
This is these drafts have happened for the last month. We're missing players, and multiple of them, because I'm looking at some of these like, why are we drafting? Like, I'm not drafting Nick Nash. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm good.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That makes me feel a little better, though. Honestly, even though we missed that, like I was getting really queasy in the round 4, where I'm like, I feel like I was pretty happy drafting around 4 this year. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, now it does, because we were missing dudes that had
multiple
gone in the third round.
We're like talking about 4, 5, 6 names at this point. Yeah.
We were missing dudes that went in the third round of our fucking real draft. So, like, that's what we were locked into. I was like, why does this 4th round look so shitty?
Well, because
why.
I'm
to
not
your
drafting
point on
most of these
TreVeyon now, my bad, Adam. I forgot that we had like 3 dudes that sleepers or ADP people drafted on sleeper. These pre-NFL rookie drafts just aren't drafted in the top 4 rounds. Fucking stupid.
Hey, I'll take it. So here, we have a bunch of questions, but here, so his wide receivers now are London, Moore, Ayuk. What's done is done, Dad. All right, the damage to the boat is there.
DB just threw out another one. Jalen Noel's not even on this list.
No fuck, dude, that's really bad. I love Jalen Noel. I love Jalen Noel.
God damn. Okay. Holy shit,
Mike. I need a combination of sleeper and my teams versus this, because are there others? Like, could I be missing more than just this? Jalen Noel is a huge miss. That's bad.
I think we're good though.
Okay, is that the final? Is that the final?
Yeah, I think we're good. I don't see anybody on my rankings that we're missing.
Well, it's not. The last one. Here's the thing though. Adiko's not actually getting lazy. It means that people are fucking not drafting these players.
Jalen Noel, Torrey Horton, Kyle Williams, and then some of those other running backs that we had listed.
Well, it could be that the ADP is wrong, but it also could be these players aren't getting drafted that highly, and that's making the ADP reflective of this. Yep. One way or the other, these are bad misses. Like Jalen Noel is crazy to me. I don't think he went outside of the top. He was early 3rd at the latest in our drafts, pretty sure, right?
I mean, it says it's a sample size of 53 drafts from March through April, to the end of April. So,
I mean, the other thing about the data, right? When you only have 53 drafts, Mike, if there's 8 where he doesn't get drafted, now all of a sudden it's like making the data skew that way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
We have quite a few that are we're more bullish on. Jalen Noel by a country mile.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Can't believe we missed that one.
I guess as we're going through it player by player, though, like we're just saying, are we more or less bullish on them? It's easier to miss, right. But yeah, we missed quite a few. Sorry, guys. We have a question though. I wanted to get to this and finish it. His wide receivers now. What's done is done, Dad. Okay, the damage to the boat's done. London, Moore, Ayuk, Reed, McMillan, Tillman, Franklin, and Polk. I have the 110 and the 208. Okay. I don't have a follow up to that, so I think it's just one of these. Again, thoughts. What are we doing here with the 108 and the 208 with this point? He's talking his receivers. I don't see the running backs. I think, frankly, at the 108 or the 208 and the 110, you do need some help at receiver. But I don't. Would you take Burden? Would you take Agbuka? What are you doing at the 110 here?
Possibly, but I'm probably more in on Quinshon if he falls, or
Caleb
Johnson.
Yep. I think I don't even know your running back situation, but I think right now this room is fine. I think I'd rather take my shot on Caleb Johnson or Quinshon, to your point.
Probably 208, what we gave you, it's going to end up being one of these running backs, like a Damian Martinez, Rocket Sanders, or Dylan Sampson if you're on Adam's train, like Bayshall Tootin, something like that. You're adding 2 running backs in this draft.
Yep.
Wide receivers are fine, but like what you can get at wide receiver, I don't think really changes your wide receiver room all that much anyways.
Even if you got Jalen Noel, right? Even if you got Jalen Noel, I don't know that it's going to jump past McMillan or past Reed for sure. Like, is it any different really, right? I'm probably staying away at the 208. I'd take another running back personally.
Yep.
So
Travis
Hunter is the next big NFL bust. Dewey, if he goes to Cleveland, I'll say
it's a good possibility.
I was at the barber today. I was looking homeless. I needed a haircut in a bad way. Mike, can I tell you this? I told him, I said, my one fear about Travis Hunter going to Cleveland is we struggle to figure out how to use players that are good on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
Like, that's in a nutshell why I'm nervous. I think Travis Hunter's fucking spectacular. I'm nervous about our ability to figure out what we're going to do with this astronaut of a player,
Kind of like baseball, It is kind of like baseball. The Angels have been shit even though they've had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, And it didn't stop Shohei from being great and then signing a giant deal with the Dodgers, okay? So Travis Hunter can go be great in Cleveland. Your team can still be shit and disappointing,
And he don't want to re-sign. And just like Ohtani decided, let me get out of Dodge,
Get out of Dodge, Travis Hunter to be the first, $1 billion contract or whatever it is. Like, that could happen, It'd be the most Cleveland thing to happen to poor Adam and that fan base. But, there's a scenario. Happens just the same way.
You know what, Dewey? I don't recall you being here earlier, and I'm not sure I like you being here all that much right now.
It's not just the Browns who said they would play him primarily at wide receiver too, so doesn't really matter.
Well, it's not right. It's not just the Browns. Although if it was just if the Browns are the only team that said that, okay, fine, you could be nervous. You should be nervous. How about that?
Yep.
What I'll also say is, what if he's actually just as special and good as he's been touted to be? What if he's capable of playing both sides?
And Tim brought up a good point. It never stopped Myles Garrett from being fucking great and one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in all of football. So
Myles Garrett, the guy was freaking driving crazy. Got in a car accident, still got $40 million, reset the market, Mike.
Right
after a crazy car accident at the defensive end, while we had 1 year while we made the playoffs and beat Pittsburgh and thought that was something cool when we suck.
Man.
Last guy I'm trying to remember was Adoree Jackson. Woof. Yikes. All right. Enough of this. Last question. Let's do a last question here, Mike. Let's do actually I got 2, okay? And we'll get out of here. Did I fumble trading Bowers and Goff for Nico, 105, 109, 302, Superflex tight end premium with 3 wide receivers and 3 flex? So that would be start 11?
Bowers or Nico for you?
Trade market wise, I would take Bowers, but if you told me I'm not about that, I'm taking Nico easy. Team building wise, I'm taking Nico easy.
All right. So Jared Goff for the 105, 109, and 302.
If I had excess quarterbacks, my problem would be I now have leverage. So I don't love trading it away for the... But, Mike, the 105, 109, and 302 isn't really that bad in a start 11, honestly, when I think about it. Where are you at with this? Goff or those package? I kind of lean the package of picks if I could get rid of Goff.
I'd take the package of picks. He had a great year, right? I've kind of tried to dunk on him, but he had a great year. But he did lose his offense coordinator, Ben Johnson, that we all think is pretty good. We don't really know how that's going to look this year. If they become more run heavy and don't throw the ball as much, or maybe it's the same shit and Jared Goff is good again. He's just that archetype in fantasy football where it's that back end QB1, high end QB2 who doesn't run and no rushing upside whatsoever.
Yeah,
give me the lottery tickets of the picks.
I think here's the reality, right? I think the picks to me would be the way I go, and I think you just brought up a great point. If you hit the picks, you're gonna love it over Goff. The only scenario where Goff ends up winning out is he's just a stable, let's call it, quarterback 2, and you whiffed on some of these picks. Then you might end up fucking up. But you don't have to hold those players for forever. You can still move them. There's a lot of ways you can get around it.
I did get you, thanks to Dr. B. The milestones Travis Hunter has to hit to be the best two-way player since Adoree Jackson. Right? This is what he's got to do to exceed Adoree Jackson on offense. Adam,
I got some shit to say. All right, go ahead and buy one, please.
He needs a season with 5 attempts rushing for 55 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he needs 1 target. Doesn't even got to get a catch. Just 1 target. That's all he needs. And he's the best two-way player we've seen, offense and defense, since Adoree Jackson.
Seems doable.
I think so.
Seems possible.
Would that make him not a bust?
Well, Mike, I'm going to, because he's likely to go to Cleveland, I'm going to stay away from it. Torrey Horton, I hear possible day to draft capital for him. No, he was a guy we talked about and missed throughout the ADP, and I think he's egregiously undervalued by not being a 5th-round pick in this startup ADP.
Torrey Horton was one of the biggest surprises at the Combine, especially coming off that knee injury.
Yeah.
The way he performed, his RAS score is stupid, like just stupid good.
And like he's like a guy that I've been hurt with. You talk about being hurt before, and not. It's Torrey Horton, buddy. Like, fuck. Yeah. I get all excited, juiced up.
See, I loved his film. Obviously, I loved what he did against Travis Hunter a couple years ago, where like just gave him fucking fits. Like Torrey Horton put his name on the map.
Yeah.
Right. I had no idea who the fuck Torrey Horton was until Colorado played Colorado State 2 years ago, and that was like everybody tuning in at 10 p.m. or whatever the fuck that started at the game that went to 87 overtimes, and it was a fucking nutso game. But Torrey Horton went ballistic, and he's doing it against Travis Hunter. And then this year in the draft cycle, you're watching him, and I'm like, man, I love his route running. This kid's so fucking smooth with it. Like, he plays at Colorado State, so nobody really knows him. The unfortunate thing is that he got a knee injury at the end of the season, and I'm like, dude's gonna miss the Combine, so he doesn't even get that chance to shine. Man comes off, been cleared for 21 fucking days before the Combine, and then goes out and has that performance, and you're like, and the tape backs it up.
Wait a minute,
god damn. Okay,
we call that Mike's. There's Rocket Sanders, and then there's a different type of rocket. That's me.
There's a different kind of rocket. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Appreciate the 5-star. By Bama Cowboys 369. I'm not even going to address it because I'm a Browns fan, but Bama and Cowboy fan is like, holy shit, man. That's tough for me to take on and acknowledge. Like,
Lakers fan too, you think?
I was going to guess Yankees possibly.
Yankees.
Right?
Ohio State, like second favorite college football team.
God damn it. You got it. We just can't get out of here. I get it. Fine. You know what? We are excited as hell to have the draft tomorrow, and by this point now, we will have the entire first round in the books. So I'm going to let you have another promo, let you know what Mike is giving away, what not even Mike's giving away, our partnership, Ultimate Autographs. You got to check them out. Signed shit, signedsh.it. The giveaway they've given us to give to our audience, which we love and they love, is crazy. Shouldn't be possible, but it is. And I'm going to let that sign off, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, 7:30 Eastern. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Bye from Yo, what's up, guys? It's Mike from South Harmon Fantasy Football. And if you've never checked out our official sponsors, Ultimate Autographs, now is the time to do it. You see all this dope stuff that I got behind me? Puka Nakua Lunar Alternate Helmet, Breece Hall Salute to Service, Chad Ocho Cinco Full-Size Authentic, and the creme de la creme of my collection, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, signed by Mr. Iron Mike Tyson himself. Yes, this isn't staged. This is all stuff that I have pulled being off of Ultimate Autographs. You can go check it out with our affiliate link, signedsh.it. Go check that one out today. They are doing so much cool shit over there. Pun intended. There is fantastic prizes that you can enter as a chance to win. You can buy a spot in one of their mystery breaks, one of their mystery box breaks, jerseys, helmets, signed hockey sticks. I'm pretty sure they got everything that any sports enthusiast could want, and I have pulled some dope stuff myself. And that's not all. That is not all. This NFL draft stream, Ultimate Autographs, is proud to present a full-size mystery box helmet that we will be giving away live. We will be giving it away to the people. So if you want a chance to win that, make sure you're checking out our NFL draft stream. We got 3 days of coverage covering the whole thing. But I can tell you what, you want to be there for night one if you want a chance at this helmet. We're going to figure out who won it on night one and then give it away on night two. So I can definitely say that this one is brought to you by our proud sponsors, Ultimate Autographs. So go get you some signed shit today. Again, that is signed sh.it.